please roll with the punches. Thank you.
No permanent ear removal. I think we took away all of those. So,
That's kind of
Waverly,
gruesome.
you were safe.
No. Okay, good. Nobody wants a one-eared mouse.
Yeah. I mean, except
How
for
do you
like
wear headbands?
Max. I mean, Max used a one-eared mouse. No. Oh.
Bueller.
Bueller. So, welcome back. We are doing Tyranny of Dragons. We are on our way through Rise of Tiamat, and we are working with one of two groups who are undertaking the quests therein. Today's group are on their way to the cold north into the Sea of Moving Ice in pursuit of information about the Draakhorn and a wizard whose information we will be revealing in just a few minutes. Folks are gathering, grabbing their drinks, and so on, and we are prepping the stream and all that neat stuff. So, while we get that done, do any of the players have any questions, comments, concerns? We did have a lot of power-ups and level-ups. Any questions about your new skills, abilities, or equipment?
What was that rule that you mentioned that you were gonna kind of enforce now, Casey?
Oh, I will kill you dead rule?
Yeah, I think that's its official name.
That is
Friendly.
the official name. So the I will kill you dead rule is monsters of this level, as well as the intelligent humanoids and such, are aware that adventurers don't stay down. So playing the I have 1 hit point and I'm totally fine game, be careful with that. They will start double tapping. Double tapping if you are hit while down. If they are within 5 feet of you, that's an automatic crit. They also have advantage of the attack, and that stacks for 2 death fails. So if you happen to be fighting something that gets 3 attacks, and I'm not going to say they do, but several monsters do, if they knock you down on the first one and then follow up with 2 more and get lucky, you could be deads. So avoid hovering around that 1 to 3 hit point range. And that's just a friendly warning from the person out to kill y'all.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I can't do that.
Dawn has a lot of potions of healing, so...
Oh yes, and there are many potions of healing around, and a reasonably easy way to resupply. So, you can decide when it's important enough to chug one down, but you may want to keep that in mind. Other just housekeeping notes as we prep for launch here. You will be heading to the Great Frozen North, and you have been given cold weather basic gear, heavy parkas, double insulated sleeping bags, lots of extra like proteiny rations, salt, that sort of stuff. If there's anything special you want to buy, knowing that you're going to be heading into that frozen wasteland, feel free to let me know, and we can get that sorted out. But I think you may already have done that sort of equipping.
Does that mean Harry's like an adorable little sweater?
Harry would be in his adorable little... Actually, you know what? On that note, Harry hasn't been feeling amazingly well, and this is heading into high danger area. Would you like to leave Harry and or any other pets, household plants, etc. in the comfort of Waterdeep, or bringing them along?
I will keep Harry where it is safe in Waterdeep, assuming there's somebody trustworthy to take care of him, because...
Oh, sure.
She's very aware of the fact that her brother wants to kill the little guy.
Well, she wouldn't be aware of that.
I mean, Dawn was not making it very subtle.
Yeah, there was some subtlety there. It wasn't an outright like, hey, drink this, buddy. It was more of like the occasional glare. But yes, Harry's also not feeling great. The Draakhorn is not affecting him well, and as far as safety goes, the council is interested in keeping him for observation, so he'll be comfortable enough, and he's got his little rock tumbler to keep him busy. So, should be fine. I'm not sure who else might have pets and houseplants, but if anybody does, feel free to let me know if anybody's staying behind.
Waverly still has her pet mouse. His name is Toby.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely. Also, her dog is still coming that she rides on because it's her mount.
Sounds good.
She needs him.
There's something disturbing about Waverly having a pet mouse to me.
It's
Like-
no weirder. It's no weirder than a human having a pet monkey.
A little. I mean, does he look like you? He?
No, he looks like a mouse.
I
Waverly
hope you
doesn't
have this
look like a
conversation out loud.
I now immediately need to have Dusk adopt a cat just for
They say pets do tend to look like their owners, so I mean, eventually that does happen. So with those sorts of things out of the way, if we would like to launch the intro of whichever ones we would like, and then we'll come back and take a look at the map, and then we'll get into adventuring time.
Sounds good. And unfortunately, the tyranny one is just not going to happen anymore. We're just doing the regular intro.
Just the regular intro until we get something new.
Until we all come back together for one last epic Casey pulling his hair out couple of episodes.
I will be fine.
All right.
All right, so we are back, and welcome back. The party is currently in Waterdeep. They just have split. 5 of the adventurers heading off towards the Serpent Hills. The other 5 remaining in Waterdeep, about to seek passage to the north, heading to the Sea of Moving Ice. Ontharr Froom, a friend from the past, has brought them to introduce to Dala Silmarhelv. Dala has information about the Draakhorn. Ontharr pulls you aside. It'll be fine. Just try and be polite. She's a little tetchy. She's one of those arcane brotherhood sisters. I'm not sure of how that conjugates. Dala gestures you all over. Now, the Sea of Moving Ice was the last known location of the Draakhorn. No one can pinpoint its present location from the sound or even verify with certainty that the relic is still in the Northern Sea, but that's where the search must start. The one person who could tell us more is a tiefling sorceress called Makath the Crimson. No one alive knows more about the Draakhorn than her, but the Arcane Brotherhood, of which she is also a member, hasn't seen her for the last 3 years. She was investigating the Sea of Moving Ice when she disappeared. Now, you do know that the Sea of Moving Ice is way up north near Icewind Dale past Luskan. You could travel up the roads and pick up a ship in Luskan, or you could take a ship straight out of Waterdeep, up and around, and into the sea. A specialized vessel named the Frostskimmr has been made available to you. It's a very shallow draft boat, very lightly made, able to be hauled across the ice when necessary. It's also fantastically uncomfortable. So, you may not want to take the long voyage for it. Dala continues. Makath reported her progress to the host tower, where the Arcane Brotherhood is headquartered by way of sending spells. Her last report spoke of seeing ice hunters paddling their sealskin boats toward a huge iceberg, flattened like a plateau across the surface, but ringed with icy peaks. She had intended to follow the ice hunters and investigate the iceberg. After that, no more reports came. Attempts to find Macath using scrying and other magical means located only her ship, adrift and heavily damaged. Some of the ship's crew were seen dead, but no sign of the tiefling sorcerer was ever found. By the damage to the boat, a dragon may have been involved. A dragon powerful enough to do such destruction would no doubt have its lair protected from against scrying magic. If Macath is still alive, in addition to the lore she can share regarding the Draakhorn, the Arcane Brotherhood would be most grateful to get her back. So, would the party like to travel overland, oversea, or by other means?
Well, Dawn did have a carriage made
Mm-hmm.
specifically, so that's available. He has his one horse, and if nobody else had a horse in this party, probably buy another one because I believe it takes 2 for a carriage. Normal carriage, 2 to 4.
2 to 4 would be good. 1 can be done, but it gets bogged down fairly easily.
Yeah, no, because this carriage has a whole alchemy lab worked into it as well.
Yeah,
so,
so you might want 2.
So, like, I know he had 1, but would have to get other horses to attach to.
Yeah, that horse looks sad. Anytime you hitch it up, it's like
His name is Algonquin.
Algonquin.
Yeah, so other horses could be godded for this if we want to do that way. If not, he'll have to pay to store it somewhere.
Sure. So you could take the long road up to Mirabar, down to Luskin, avoid the troubles in the port, and avoid the Frostskimmr there. You would probably want to leave your carriage in Mirabar. It's a much more trustworthy place. Luskin's a little divey.
Luskin's not a fun place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's an option.
You could go visit the crash site, see Ground Zero.
It's now a lake.
It'd be a lake. Come on.
Oh, yeah, you got a little. It's a pond. I mean, it was
Okay,
fairly.
Yeah, at least a
So
pond.
where did, like, on this map, did Barovia show up again? That's over here?
Sure. Barovia is right here near Oakhurst. And if you did want to, just so happen to cross over that way, I mean, that is a little bit out of the way, but certainly possible.
So I wasn't sure if, like, we were going through it, like, on this road now.
So if you were to take the
think
long
so.
road up, once you reach right about here, there's an old trail that leads over and up. It was a shortcut that people who are desperate used because the crags themselves have a lot of troublesome areas, and down here near Mount Hot now, also a bit of trouble. Oakhurst doesn't really have much going for it, and not a lot of people wanted to take the shortcut to Luskin anymore. So, a little disused, but with, some clever wordplay, you could be like, oh yeah, we just want to swing over here through this new place, and then, from there up to Mirabar. Just cut out that whole, I hear that's the worst part.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Arcane Brotherhood, it lost a tiefling that was looking for the Draakhorn, right?
Draakhorn, yep.
So, I'm confused. So, they didn't offer us necessarily anything besides maybe monetary competence for this, or, pay for this, right? For finding the tiefling.
The tiefling, no, you've not had any offer. Dala's right there still. So she's said, hey, Macath is the expert. We would like her back. And I think she's trying to, You know you're getting a wish out of this already, so it'd be great if you could just bring her
okay.
back.
That was my
But-
question. Are
yes.
they giving us the wish, or is it Irina
Well,
or Mer?
The wish is being so let's throw a little bit of some sort of insight or history or political adroitness here. Who would like to suss out what some motivations might be and give me the first die roll of the evening? And possibly an investigation, a history, maybe an insight.
I would be good at the maybe insight, because I'm not from around here, but I'm pretty good at finding stuff out if none of y'all know. It's up to
Sure.
you. So what actually is going on here?
What is going on here?
I don't
So
know.
what is that? History,
Food.
insight, and what?
History, insight, investigation. I'm willing to hear a lot of offer. Even arcana might because this is the Arcane Brotherhood. But with the insight, Plaut's like,
He is.
yeah, just not enough information. You don't know enough about the area. You know something's up.
I'm confused, Fluffy. Can you explain what the hell's going on? I don't understand. Who are we
Fluffy?
working for, Fluffy?
You mean just like in general, or right at this very moment? Because we got a lot of people we're our services to at this point.
Oh, we're working for multiple people. All right. I
That's
didn't
true.
realize. Who's giving us the goods for getting this stuff? Not that it doesn't have its own rewards, associated with it.
So the Council of Waterdeep was setting the bounty, but the wish was specifically coming from a luck sword being offered by Irina, the Duchess Baroness of the newly returned Barovia.
That sounds like a very, powerful and or interesting weapon, and I think Joey would be more than willing to help someone with an assessment of what's going on for this.
Sure.
But he's definitely not able to do it on his own.
You said powerful weapon, so Joey's like, "Bow."
Hey, half the time, a third of the time.
It's what drives most of your life.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Wings. It's okay. Never anybody else.
So I'm hearing a lot of people volunteering to help, but not a lot of people rolling. So who'd like to take front person position on this one?
I can Arcana.
I'm willing to see it.
Not much better.
Well, with help, that
25.
does pull the 25. So among the things that you know, the Arcane Brotherhood suffered a fairly embarrassing defeat some years ago during the last Rage of Dragons, a time when dragons were actively on the prowl. The host tower, at least one wing of it, was destroyed, and a dragon made off with a great deal of arcane knowledge. Supposedly, one from the north. Makath, you believe, may have been looking for more than just the Draakhorn, possibly that store of ancient knowledge, maybe trying to raid a dragon's hoard while she was up there.
A worthwhile endeavor.
It is. Certain people have gotten very rich that way. So, the Arcane Brotherhood is certainly motivated to get Makath, along with everything Makath was hoping to get, back.
Would any of Joey's quote help end quote kind of pull a little bit more from the other end of the spectrum? Maybe a little influence of why someone like Irina is offering that kind of a
Sure.
weapon reward.
So, without getting deep into it, she is newly returned. Her claim to royalty and nobility is a little sketchy, given that the family tree disappeared a long time ago, and it just reappeared. Now, she is sitting in the throne room of the castle, which helps. She does have some very, very slight military and arcane power there, but it's a rinky-dink little castle with a very small number of people, and about a third of the population just lit the heck out of there. So she could easily be conquered if she doesn't earn some popularity soon.
All right, powerful puns from powerful places. Sure, I can respect that. All right, Dawn, you said we're taking this cart.
It's available, yes.
Call it a cramp, more like.
You're the one who knew how to drive, or we will be hiring someone to do it for us.
Yeah, of course I'll drive it if we're going that way. Are we expecting to return magically from where we're going, or are we expecting to return by mundane means?
You have not purchased any magical means, and none have been offered to you. There are certainly magical means available at a reasonable price.
So that would be touching base with Dawn. That would be the consideration. If we're returning magically, you probably won't want to drag the cart from here, because then we get stuck up in Murbar.
What? What was that?
I mean, if time is of the essence, because I imagine they were like, "You guys meet back here in a month," and then said
So
the other group.
On
It'll
that
take
one,
longer than that to get there, I
yeah.
think.
So on that one, that was a Casey math problem. 3 months. They want 1 season.
How many
one
10 days is that?
Yeah, that's it's 9-10 days. So you've got basically 90 days, 3 months. That was a Casey
so
math thing.
So then, yeah, Joey would leave it to Dawn at that point. Like, if we want to go overland, I'll drive.
How do we know, like, the speed of the boat?
They're equivalent, boat versus cart. A boat goes a little bit faster if you're willing to drive through the night. Carts can match it if you're willing to swip out horses. Just a matter of overland versus oversea.
I would prefer, if my opinion matters here, not being on the water. I mean, I'm not exactly built to, I go topsy-turvy when you put me in the water, and it's just a big sad thing that goes on. And then it's cold also, so, the less time we have to spend over the water would be preferable for me.
Dawn looks like he wants to say something, but just doesn't. Just like...
Plaut's just grinning at you, oblivious. Doesn't quite understand your faces yet.
I feel like
Too
Dawn
fuzzy.
Early got that just deadpan face. Like, his expression just never changes except for the occasional glare.
Glare, eye roll.
I'm gonna have to put
sigh.
I'm gonna have to put some eyebrows on you to be able to read what you're saying. Your facial expressions. I mean, Fluff is pretty easy to, it's just happy all the time. So, but you're a mystery. Also, am I gonna fit in the back of your cart here? You got a lot of bottles and bubbling things. That doesn't smell so good over there.
Yeah, Dawn, what is all this stuff? It's taking up so much space.
Never you mind. Well, the way I kind of envisioned it was that, like, it could fold up in, like into the seats or into, like, the back panels, and then just, like, pull down a section, and it just, everything slides out, and it'll hook up and keep everything from bouncing around too much. Like
Sure.
like that's the way it was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
essentially
But
designed.
I feel like I feel like as you're discussing this, you're all like kind of walking out to the carriage to like, yeah, can we ride in this? And it's like fully open mid brew, and you're just like, oh no, we don't travel like this. And then you start closing things up, and it's kind of like a magic trick. Like you just like
Folding.
and
Like
then
like that furniture that's built for like teeny tiny like houses and
Yeah.
apartments. Just like yoink. Brilliant engineering.
This is our tiny house.
it is a little tiny house.
Or
Um,
our mobile home, if you will.
True. Though most likely you would have the Mastiff walking rather than riding. Waverly might ride the Mastiff. And
Yes.
I think there's at least... Joey, do you still have a horse?
Uh,
Because if
I don't-
not, we could get a draft horse because they're meant for pulling.
I
For
don't
the
remember
second
how many
horse.
horses there were, but the mage didn't steal your horse if you had a horse.
The dog will not be helpful for pulling the wagon, so you should probably do
didn't steal the horse. What a generous, almost murderer robber.
that.
I mean, the horse wasn't like in his house, trying to kill him. So he didn't like seek out the horse.
Surprised it wasn't killed and then reanimated. Okay, yes, I have a horse. Then.
Oh, I see how it goes.
Can your horse's name be something like Joe? Just to offset the amazing
Joe.
name of Dawn's.
Algonquin?
Yeah. On Algonquin, on Joe.
Joe.
Sorry, Joe, not sorry.
So it sounds like Overland's the way it's going to be. So if I could have 1d20, please don't roll a 20. Anybody can roll.
I feel like Kitty hasn't rolled in a while. I feel like Kitty should be rolling.
Yeah, let's break it in with the massive roll here. Kitty, if you would, 1d20.
Okay.
That is not a 20. So the travels, after you get everything together, from Waterdeep up through Red Larch, Westboro, Tribor, and Long Saddle are fairly uneventful. Red Larch is a little bit topsy-turvy at the moment. They seem to have had some seismic activity causing a collapse in the middle of town, opening up a large pit. But they just, oh, that's nothing. Just move along, keep going. Nothing to see here, folks. And away you go. Up past...
How long is this?
So this is about 800...
For brewing purposes.
Oh, yeah, so this is going to be about a month's worth of travel for you.
Okay.
So figure yourself 30 days or so, more or less. Once you reach Long Saddle, though, there is that decision. Do you take the path less traveled away to the west a bit and pass through Barovia, with all that lovely land for claim, or you to continue on north to Mirabar?
Did we ever hear, from Irina directly? Or was it through/with the Arcane Brotherhood?
Or the council.
It was through the council. So the council, Degolt, Never Ember of Waterdeep was the one that you were speaking with. He was the one who offered. He did mention that Irina had put up the reward, but she did not speak at the council.
I guess my ultimate question would be, say, best case scenario, we somehow recover what they're looking for. Are we intended to return it to the council or to her directly?
So the council has final say on the Draakhorn having been destroyed/recovered. Basically, they just want it to stop doing what it's doing. As long as that has happened, she will then bestow the reward. She
Gotcha.
wears the Luxord.
Okay, so she's bankrolling this.
Yes, she is.
Cool.
She is putting up a political bounty so that nobody come invade me. I'm spending money.
Yeah, I mean, then Plaut is all good with going on through. I mean, we got our mission. I mean, unless you want to stop by and see a town, it sounds like we can just mosey on by.
Sure can.
I mean, I know Joey didn't have any interest actively yet.
Okay. Onward to Mirabar.
Yeah, like Dawn's curious, but they have a mission, and I mean, it just appeared, so it might not always be there to go back to and poke around, but you know, like it appeared, so that's kind of curious to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's so to here it was 3 weeks.
30 day, yes. Three 10 days.
Yes. So quote unquote 10 days.
Yeah, 30 days.
I was like, if roughly he knew how long they were going to be traveling, prior to leaving, he would have went and bought stuff
sure.
to make the some potions of resistances.
No problem.
So
you can apply the appropriate number of days, and then onward to Mirabar. At Mirabar, arrangements are made. There are some very fine banks and lodgings and such. Your carriage is taken care of. And then there's a quick boat travel down the river Mirar, and the Frostskimmr awaits. Aboard the Frostskimmr, and before you board, is there anything anybody wants to buy while still on land?
Well, are we assuming that we're buying all of our warm gear and whatnots already?
Yes. Yeah, warm gear, warm weather clothing is basically there. Anything special that you want on top of warm weather gear, let me know.
Tabaxi wearing furs is just silly to me.
I mean, it's
it
other
like-
creatures' furs.
Is it like a mouse having a mouse for a pet?
That would be an extremely inefficient way of making a coat. Even
Chinchilla?
for Waverly. Chinchillas are bigger than mice.
I mean,
Quite a bit
you're
bigger.
smaller than people. So warm weather gears can be attained. If you don't want to wear furs, you can certainly get. You can get wool. Wool's nice and warm. It's kind of fur. But if you want to stay away from that entirely, you can get just layers and layers of cotton, hemp, etc. And just festoon yourself. Or you could get silks, scarf it up. Lots of ways to do it. But
Big fur coat. Waverly has a big fur coat.
big fur coat.
Does it like drag behind her?
It's not that big. Okay, big on her, but it is appropriately sized for a mouse
Can you have issues with your sleeves? Because you constantly pushing up big fluffy sleeves is just, oh my god.
No, because then I'll have to take them off for every battle.
Oh, but the clip-on mittens.
Clip-on. Okay, we can have clip-on mittens.
Plaut's excited buying Waverly stuff for. Oh, look! Then you can fit into this one. Oh my gosh.
Whereas for Plaut, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna pin a blanket on this side of you and a blanket on that side of you.
It
That's
looks like
about
a
all we
cape.
get.
Yeah, I've got like
Yeah.
a cape tied around my neck and like the hat that I linked in chat, like the ear flaps with the dongly bits at the bottom and on top is the only. They said this was the only one they had, so I don't know. I think they were kind of lying to me. Every time I turned my head, they whipped me in the face.
Yep. Ear flaps for a creature without external ears.
What?
Keep the ear holes. Gotta keep the ear holes warm.
I mean, that's true. The Frostskimmr is captained by Captain Larista, known as Captain Larista Halfface, who wears a fairly large covering over one side of his face. You've snuck peeks behind it, and you know it's just pretty well and heavily scarred up, and probably polite that he keeps it covered up. The crew is about 30 strong. There are 2 lizard folk among the crew. Each of them wears a fairly large red stoned necklace that pulses warmly. The others dressed fairly heavily in furs, and you can see there are rows of oars along with the sails. The floor of the deck is actually very loose wood. And you're informed that, yeah, that's actually firewood. As we travel, we use that up. We need to keep the ship nice and light, and there's no way to generate heat out there without it. We have some oil lamps, but when we have to lift everything up, it's better to just take the ship apart than to carry separate firewood. So, as you move out into the ice, you're going to have a couple of choices, and the captain will present them to you. Now, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for. They only gave me enough information to know that I need to pick you up, and having done so, certain monies I owe will no longer be owed. Still, I don't want anything to happen to my ship or my crew. So, as we move into the ice, I personally recommend each night we take the time to pull the ship up onto one of the larger ice floes and secure it. Each day we can move about and look for whatever this mountain or berg is that you're after. So, for the first day, if someone would be so kind as to roll a d6.
I'll do it. 3.
All right. You begin moving in and amongst the ice floes. As you start moving, the waves of your passage cause several of the blocks of ice to rise and fall. You see a bear, pure white, black nose, moving slowly out of the water. It shakes off, and ahead of the bear, you wouldn't have noticed it except for the bear's attention set on it, a humanoid figure is lying very, very still on the ice.
What in the hell is a person doing out here?
I mean, we're out here.
Dawn, notices, then goes back to the book he's reading.
How far out is this?
We're going to say it's about 300 feet away. About 20 feet of open water, ice flow, a little bit of breakage, and then a large enough chunk of ice about 100 feet over there. You've seen this boat navigate getting through the ice, so it could easily get you over to that ice floe if you were to direct it.
I mean, guys, anything that can live or talk, if it can talk, it can give us information. Is the person faced in the direction of the boat?
The person is face down on the ice.
Oh, should we help them then?
They are laying
their
very
face is
still,
down.
stretched out.
That's not good.
They're probably already dead.
How far are we from there?
What if they're not dead and we left them there and then they died because of us?
So about 200
We're not
feet.
the ones that put them in that situation, so we're not the one that's killed them.
Plaut's gonna go to the side of the ship. I assume it's cold, right? Been possibly snowing, blowing, ice.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Ice. Yeah, we are in the Arctic.
Okay. He's gonna try and find a chunk of ice and wrap it in any snow to maybe soften the blow and try and hurl it near, but not at, directly the body. Is that possible?
Have you got anything to assist you with the throw? Do you have a sling?
I don't think I have a sling.
Mounted trebuchet.
Yeah, damn it, I left it at home.
Yeah, you gotta have those things. So you can go ahead and give it a huck. It's very unlikely you're going to cover 200 feet with any sort of accuracy with a snowball,
Well,
it's possible.
I could make a kerplunk at the water closer, and
Sure.
Can our voice even carry that far? Really? Is it like wind whipping?
No, it's
weather?
it's windy, but you can cover 200 feet. I mean, they would have heard the boat coming through. There are sailors cussing behind you. There are oars clanking and creaking. People thumping big chunks of ice away from the boat.
Here, you know what? Actually, I have javelins. I could hurl a javelin nearby. Maybe he just needs an oar-like device. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Throw!
I lick the tip of the javelin and then... Whoop.
Yeah, so apparently, like, Plaut's like... And it's like, up, and thunk. And you manage to, like, land it, like, right in front of the humanoid's head. As it thunks in there, you see the humanoid, like, wriggle backwards a little bit, like, trying to shimmy back without looking like it's moving. And... Unfortunately, its shimmying is not so discreet. The polar bear begins lumbering forward at a faster pace.
And there goes our living lead. Could be... Dawn, can you do something about the giant lumbering thing?
Don't one of your recipes there in your, juice making kits call for some kind of polar bear tooth?
How far away did you say it was?
The polar bear is probably 150 some feet from you. It's moving about 50 feet towards the humanoid that's lying down.
Is it further away?
Yes, so that's a little further away.
You can't. He's like, I can't reach that far, unfortunately.
I don't know if it'll work.
So let's...
I've got...
You can try.
Kind of distracted.
It'll be at disadvantage. We could try to pew the bear.
Could try and pew the bear.
At disadvantage.
So you all are over on the boat over here.
One hit. I'm sure.
Wow, look at you.
Nice.
Ooh.
So you begin pew-pewing. You do get the bear's attention. The bear looks back towards you. Doesn't seem to quite understand what's going on, but knows that it just took some damage.
Is bear on screen? I don't see bear.
Bear is not on screen yet.
Okay.
Bear has now decided that, nope, that was weird, and it's going to head back into the water. Is anyone stopping the bear from heading into the water?
Should we?
Is there a reason to stop the bear from going away?
Mm-hmm.
Is the water towards us?
Nope, just off to the side.
I could shoot it if we wanted to not stop.
Well, I think we done scared it off with your terrifying missile launching there, Dawn. Good job.
Yeah.
Person. He's in the water.
So, laying down, hearing you call out, the person looks up, kind of like raises a hand, covers his eyes, trying to make you out over the snow, and calls out in a language that you do not understand, unless someone understands all languages somehow. Does anyone do that?
Dawn can.
Does Dawn?
What language is it? He speaks random ass languages.
This is a unknown language outside of
Okay.
this particular tribe.
I do not speak all languages, so no.
So, hola.
Thought I did. Apparently I do not. Never mind.
And they begin dragging themselves towards you.
Oh, comprehend languages. There we go.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
can also-
only in the book, so it'll take about 10 minutes
For
for that to happen.
Dawn's flipping.
Waverly can do it right away.
Okay. So you hear.
What? Everybody slow turns to the mouse like, what?
Well, the mouse understands, right?
So you understand literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. I do not think you can speak it back, but you can now understand. And you hear, great-grandfather Walrus, save me. How is it you've come to be here?
The boat.
Gibberish from the south. Help. And he starts speaking louder and slower to you. Help me.
Waverly just kind of nods. Go on.
You understand?
She nods.
Ah, good. My leg is ruined. I could use some assistance. Please. I've been on the ice for days now.
He says his legs hurt, and he's been here for days. So yes, we definitely should have stopped. So I want to offer.
I'm wondering if Waverly said that out loud to him. Yes, so we definitely should have stopped.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
But he doesn't seem to understand when you speak.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, guys, who practiced miming? Nobody.
Do any of you got any? Do any of us here have a healing spell that they would spare?
Oh,
We all
his
probably
legs
know that
hurt?
Dawn had over the course of time made a whole lot of regular healing potions.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way up, he has 2 greater healing potions, and on the way up made a bunch of a couple cold resistance potions. So there's a bunch of those.
No, I mean, smaller cat, don't waste your good little potions there. I mean, if all he needs is healing. The thing is,
He's not offering, you just know he has them.
Okay, good. That sounds much more like Dawn anyway. I was like,
Yes.
Why would you? Okay. Yeah, Plaut will be like, well, I got something that'll make him feel better, but y'all trust him? I mean, I know things are moving kind of fast here. This guy that gave us a ride on this here boat said that he didn't want us to, be risking him and his crew for nothing. Is this guy on the up and up? And he looks at Waverly, because she's the only one that can really converse with him.
Can I roll an insight?
Sure. So what would you like to know about him? He definitely looks injured. He was definitely about to be eaten by a polar bear. So that seems legit. What more are you going for?
Does he look like he might have ulterior motives? Is he being entirely truthful when he asks for help?
Yes, he definitely looks like he needs help. He does not. There is no boat that you can see nearby. He does look wounded. He does not look to have equipment with him. And polar bear.
Danger Mouse, you should ask him why he's out here on his lonesome.
I can't ask him.
All right.
I can only understand him.
We're at an impasse here. I don't know. I'll defer to you guys. Do you want to risk, bringing him aboard?
Well, I don't see why not.
Sorry, Dusk, I can barely hear you.
I don't think we should have stopped in the first place. Now you have a moral dilemma on your hands. See
I
what
don't
happens.
see any dilemma at all. We helped him.
Listen, guys, this is simple. If there's a person here, eventually we can figure out a way to understand him, which means that we can ask him, "Hey, where's a fucking dragon?" And then when they point out the dragon, we know where to go.
I like that plan.
that sounds like a good
All right.
plan.
Well, we seem to be completely in charge of who comes on this ship now, so come on aboard. And, none of the crew or captain are here, so come on aboard and we'll heal you up real quick.
The crew and captain are there,
They're
but they're
they're letting we own this ship, basically. Don't tell them anything.
We can handle whatever's gonna happen. He's one person.
So along with that insight,
Famous last
Waverly,
words.
you suspect whatever the Lord's Alliance and the Council have over this particular boat, he is very concerned with this going okay. So
It's fine.
you do assist the hunter on board. You can see he is dressed for cold weather, but it looks like he's been out in the weather for a bit longer. Likely he was laying face down just to prevent some of his heat from getting away, and had piled snow about himself when the polar bear came on to the ice. It was basically pray that it doesn't notice. But you now have the hunter aboard.
Let's get this guy some healing and some lunch.
Plaut's gonna whip out one of his precious sticks of licorice and hand it to him and cast healing spirit.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's just gonna explain to him. Well, now if you just like drag yourself, or maybe here I'll help you walk through this and then back through, and you'll feel better each time you go through it. Just back.
So if you're just gonna cast it on top of him, he actually can just sit there the whole time.
Just
You
lift
only
your
have
leg
to-
up a little bit, and then it acts like you're going through it. Just wiggle your butt like you did over on the ice there.
He did bring your javelin back to you, by the way.
Well, thank you very much.
Kind of
Appreciate that.
pulled himself over with it. So he does heal up, and he thank you. I would not have survived out there much longer with Brother Bear coming to check on me. That was a bad sign.
Good licorice, isn't it? Because I have no idea what he's saying.
Yeah, he's on the licorice, sort of explaining it to Waverly, who he assumes can still understand. And you are from the south. You trade, and he searches about himself and he undoes. Do you have a small boat? And he offers some carved ivory, or carved narwhal tusk kind of ivory.
Ooh. I mean, those look very nice. Is there like does this ship have a lifeboat that we could give this guy?
There are small boats. There are 4 small boats used for landing or pulling through small channels to get to other bergs to move across. Captain's like,
I'll buy it off you. How much do you want for the lifeboat?
Wait, is there only one, or just make it? Okay, 4.
There are 4 boats.
All right.
So there's this boat and 4 boats. Getting down to 3 would mean that if the ship should sink, there would probably be people left in the water. Because they will definitely not fit 10 apiece.
We can just take him where he needs to go. I mean, can we find out where he's, coming from? Maybe we're going to the same place and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's true.
You like pretty loots, big dragons? No.
Waverly points every single direction, then kind of looks at him trying to mime, where are you going? Going this way, this way.
If you wish to take me home, it is this way, and he points back towards the land. Further out in this direction is, and he gestures towards where Plaut's doing a dragon impersonation, I think. The lair of the White Death.
He says the White Death is over there, so that's probably where we want to go.
Wait, that's where he lives? He lives with
No.
No. Then he goes, White Death is this way.
Oh.
I am the other way.
Oh.
Yeah, he lives over there.
Well, that's pretty smart, I'll say that. All right.
I mean,
Do we have any way to pantomime him asking him about another ship like ours? Because I imagine.
does it like can we draw this? Like, can we draw like a boat and a big question mark?
Sure.
And like,
You been here long? How long you been here? Did you
So
just
you guys,
move
you
into
guys
the
have some
area?
time. If you're taking him back towards his village, you'll have the better part of the day getting him back there. And you will have a night in a small, obviously nomadic tribal setting. He is, welcomed on his return. There's a little tiny party. They don't have a lot of supplies to go around, but you're invited to share the fire. Nobody can speak to anybody, but there's pantomime going on. So what are you trying to draw out? So Macath came up here about 3 years ago. So they wouldn't have seen a boat recently, but you could draw that out. You can draw the description of the iceberg with the plateau, which he does confirm as being the home of the White Death. You get that narrowed down to, yes, it is a dragon, and out that way. He does confirm it is a moving berg, so it is not always in the same place, but it is out that way.
Have any of y'all at this lovely little fire you got going on in this little village here been out that way? Have you ever actively sought out that place? Got any knowledge you'd like to share? Because, I mean, we're kind of walking into...
Give me a performance or a charisma or something to translate that across the language barrier.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah. I'd much rather do persuasion if I can.
I mean, I don't know that you can persuade him without...
Can I athletics it somehow? Like dance, interpretive dance? No, fine, I'll perform. It's gonna be bad, y'all. I'm not too nimble on my oh, whoops.
Oh no.
Yeah, just not a breakdancing turtle today. So he's like, oh. I don't know what that one's doing. But he does give some explanation as to his people while you guys have the comprehend languages up. We hunt the ice with great respect for, grandfather walrus and brother bear and all those other such things and da-da-da-da. And it basically gets around to they move around the ice pack as the ice pack moves. They follow the seals, that sort of thing. They do some very, very basic trading with some of the folks from the south. And that's about it for them. Hunters moving about the ice, a lot of fish in their diet.
All right, sounds good. So, all I want to know is if shit turns south and we need a place to crash, can we head for your little warm village here? Should we need a place to lick our wounds or something? We welcome back here. Are you going to harpoon us upon sight?
And as you're pantomiming, licking your arm and harpooning, it's like, I don't think we would eat you.
I go in for a hug. Does he?
He gives you a hug. He's like,
cool.
This is weird.
Yeah, all right, we're good. We're welcome back here, I think. I think universally, hugs are good.
Yeah. Yay.
I bet the crew is totally weirded out right now.
Actually, the crew seems like, they're aware of the nomadic hunters. It's sort of a live and let live arrangement. But that will get us through the evening. And then on to day 2. Back on the boat. For day 2, would someone be so kind as to give me a 1d6? There will be a +1 added to this.
I'll do it. It'll be fun. Roll a d6, they said.
Roll a d6, they said. You head back out, heading towards the White Death. As you do, you see, off in the distance, about 400 to 500 feet away, several small, very light boats, manned by 4 people each, 3 paddling, 1 standing hunkered down with a fairly large harpoon, as they make their way between ice flows. Occasionally, they launch the harpoon, but then reel it back in. They don't seem to have had any luck so far. Whoops, still with me?
Yes?
No?
Okay.
So there's like 6 boats out there, and there's like 4 dudes on each boat.
3 boats out there, 4 dudes on each boat. You're about 500 feet away. They don't seem to have noticed you just yet.
They look like hunters.
They look like hunters.
As long as they're not hunting us.
Did we?
Should we get up and wave?
Yeah, did we see them do any, like, welcome greeting when the one dude came back? Because if so, let's do that at the boats or at the men.
Sure. You can try and ape one of the greetings that you saw there. How about a charisma?
How about that? Anybody else?
Someone, yeah, probably not me either.
Whoa, Joey!
Joey!
Stepping it up.
Joey's got the moves.
So Joey hops up. He gives the very similar to what you saw on the greeting. Those in the boats turn to look at you, and you can hear them hooting back at you. A sound designed to carry across a great distance, and it does not sound friendly. They shake their harpoons at you, obviously a threat display, and then they begin paddling off to the north and east. That's the direction that the other hunter said the White Death was.
What the hell did you do? You scared him.
I can't help it if I have a scary disposition. What the hell? They're going to the White Death? It doesn't make...
But they look just like the other hunters in terms of dress. Were they, like, similar colorings, if that was a thing?
Very similar style.
What the hey?
Racially, they're all of the same people. Clothing-wise, it's sealskin and furs. Not a lot of dye out here.
Well,
So,
maybe they just scatter easy. I don't know.
but they'll return in greater numbers.
I mean, how many of them can there be? He said, ignoring the voice in the sky's comments.
The captain looks towards you. Well, we can give chase. We can continue on.
Well, I mean...
Systematically is the, surest way to find what we're looking for, but if you think it's a lead...
I think we done scared them, though. They, like, shook their little things at us and then took off. But they did take off in the direction that we're headed, didn't they?
They did, though the captain's been more making north-south passes, moving west as he goes. This would be moving east as he goes. This would be kind of heading off out of the pattern he was setting up.
I mean, we didn't really get much info from Mr. Bumleg, so, I mean, if you want to chase down some other people, It's fine, guys, but I feel like we should just go. I mean, what do y'all think? You guys are awfully quiet. Maybe I'm just a talker.
Maybe you are. Can we think of is there a good reason to chase these guys at this point? Like maybe they're just there. Maybe this is how they go hunting.
Apparently, if you want harpoons in the side of your ship, that's a good reason to chase them.
I don't think we really have a need.
They're gonna go hunt a whale or something.
They don't seem equipped to take on something called the White Death.
I'm starting to doubt if we're equipped to take on something called the White Death, but I guess we're about to find out.
We've done it before.
We have.
Well, that's
We were
comforting.
able to essentially drop a castle. So.
Did you pick it up in the first place?
Well, no, but that's not the impressive part.
We killed a dragon with a castle. That's all you need to know.
I think there's a little more I need to know, but we can save that story for another time. That's fine. I believe you. I mean, Fluffy told me all sorts of stories now. Grain of salt for what she says.
That one. Of all the stories not to tell.
They were mostly about animals, chasing things, petting stuff, naming other things. She had about 4 animals in my village before we left. That she named them not their names. They're not really pets, but, we just let her be. Made her happy.
So as the conversation goes on, the little boats dart between gap in the ice that the larger boat would have trouble following and make their way away. For the rest of the afternoon, can I have one more D6, please?
I'll get it.
Sure. Hey. So you continue making your way through the ice floes, and eventually you come across some of the larger pieces of ice. Making your way through them, you finally see a massive berg that looks to be the one you're searching for. The top, about 100 feet above the sea level, fairly level, ringed by spikes of ice rising like mountains, another 100 feet to 200 feet above that. A shelf lower near the water shows that you could disembark and then make your way up to that top tier. On that shelf, you can see several boats similar to the ones you saw the hunters in, as well as an assortment of large bones, whales, seals, and other creatures. The captain looks at you as like, really?
What? Really, what?
I mean, those are big bones.
Dragons tend to eat a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you being a seafaring man and all, I would have thought you'd seen a whale before.
That's bigger than this boat. So, would you like to disembark?
This is probably where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, all signs point to Great White Death. I mean, we were following something bad anyway. I mean, we can't get there and expect to see roses.
Sure. And a quick question. Is anyone proficient in nature?
You would think I'd be, but not so much.
I don't think so. No. No.
Okay. So yeah, big bones, whales, seals, and other creatures. Scattered in amongst them, other humanoids though maybe not human. An ice chasm splits the cliff face above the shelf, rising to the top of the plateau. The chasm is about 20 feet wide near the bottom, but about 5 feet wide at the top. Steps, or at least step-like shelves, have been cut into the ice, making for a fairly easy climb to the top of the plateau, should you wish.
Well, I mean, I don't see a welcoming party. So, get to walking?
Yeah, let's get to walking.
All right. As you disembark, the captain looks around. He's like, "We're going to set up on that ice shelf over there. When you come down, signal, and we'll be across quickly. That should keep us from being hemmed in." And having seen you off, backs the boat away and starts moving off to that ice shelf. The first sight that greets you as you emerge onto the top of the stairs is a row of 10 corpses frozen into a wall of ice. 3 warriors, a dwarf, and 6 of the ice hunters. Their bodies have been preserved in the ice. It's almost like they were flash frozen at the moment of death. The 3 warriors are from the south, possibly as far south as Kalasham. Beyond, a small village sits in a sheltered spot near the center of the iceberg. The ground between where you are and where they are is uneven, fractured, and covered with small rises and falls and splinter in the ice, but it looks reasonably walkable. The 20 structures make up the village, divided between snow-blocked shelters, similar to igloos, and double-walled yurts made from sealskin stretched over well-built frames. About 16 of these structures are small, one-room, family-sized dwellings. One looks to be a much larger storeroom style. The other looks as though it may be a meeting hall. The last, a yurt, stands a bit apart from the rest. You can see people coming and going amongst them, dressed as the hunters are, going about the day's business. It's getting towards evening, so likely they are pulling in their catches and preparing for the chill of the night. What you all doing?
Dawn.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, Dawn had made 3 potions of cold resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Joey and Dusk and Waverly? Is Plaut like frontline?
Yeah, I don't need. You're good. I'll be all right. But thank you.
We'll get those.
Question.
They last for an hour, so like, we don't particularly may not need them currently, but just so they have them.
Sure.
So there's a wall with frozen dead bodies, and then there's all this like little town-like stuff behind that, kind of.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, as you come up out of, like, you know, it's carved into a glacier, so there's massive walls of ice on each side of you. You come up to that very top step, and then just kind of on the left, corpses, just right there, and the ice in front of them is very, very transparent. Now they've always got like the blue and the little fractures in them and the light glinting, but like dead people.
And then village of some kind.
And then just beyond that, yep, village of some kind.
Maybe we might wanna. I mean, have we been? Yeah, have we been seen? We're not subtle, I guess.
They don't seem to have seen you. You're still a little ways away, at least 200 feet from the nearest of the buildings.
Well, I could go in for a closer look.
I mean, like, these people don't... I mean, if all the hunters, the other ones that were like, get off our land earlier, are part of this group, I don't know if we want to go in all obvious.
I don't necessarily do subtle all that well, but we could see what they're about.
No, that's okay. That's why I'm here. I do settle.
I remember
This is why you
Fluffy
went with the
telling
white
me
fur.
a story about something with a jingle bell, but yeah, it makes sense that you're the stealthy one.
Oh.
Look, I can go in. I can go in invisible. I can check out, see what's going on, and see if it's anything we need to be aware of, and then I'll come back and let you know.
You all, I mean, you've been working with the little danger mouse. I mean, is she safe to send in? I don't want her to get hurt. Good?
I'm only worried about Snow Prince. It's the only thing I've ever seen beat the Danger Mouse.
This is true. The footprints are
Could
a
you,
bit of a problem.
you got a tail, could you, like, wipe them off as you're walking? Is that do you work like that?
I could do that. And I'll try and step in other people's footsteps.
That's a good idea.
Sure. Sounds good. So it sounds like I should be asking for a stealth check. And did I hear invisibility?
Yeah,
Okay.
I will cast
Sure. What's the duration of invisibility? Is that a 1 minute or a 10 minute?
It's up to an hour.
Oh, up to an hour. Plenty of time.
Yeah, it's a concentration spell, but up to an hour.
Sounds good. So let's see that stealth, please. With advantage.
There's the invisibility thing, if you want, and stealth. Advantage.
Before Danger Mouse goes in, oh, Jesus. Just don't go in too far, even though you look like I don't even see you no more.
Yeah, you're, like, talking and, like, from, like, 100 feet away, you hear Waverly sort of, it's fine.
Okay, bye!
So...
Casey, do we have a map? I'm sorry to ask.
We do not have a map for this village. So we can...
We'll just hide somewhere, I guess? Like, cuddled as a group?
I mean, just a few steps down the stairwell will hide you.
Hope no one comes up. This isn't their front door, right?
And basically, as long as no one comes up, you'll be fine. And who would do that to you? So, back to the fancy dragon page. So, 20 structures. Majority of them one-room dwelling, family style. The larger storeroom, the larger meeting house, and the one standing alone yurt by itself. Where would you like to go?
Okay, can I take a peek inside that yurt in the middle?
The one standing alone, or the all the general ones?
I guess the general ones. Maybe the meeting one. See if anyone's in there having a meeting.
Got it. So you do your sneaking around, and you do your peering in. It gets blamed on the wind when the little draft gets in, but the tents are loose enough that you're able to peek here and there. You see families eating food. They all seem to be huddled around small oil-style lamps. There doesn't appear to be any fires burning anywhere. The food seems to be just either eaten raw or dried and slightly salted. So not a lot of cooking going on, no smoke of note. But they are humans eating and just preparing basically to huddle together for the night. The storeroom, as you creep past there, a lot of gear, harpoons, nets, that sort of thing.
Hunting and fishing stuff rather than
fishing stuff. The racks for drying food, the basic implements for shaping, that sort of stuff. Some of the bigger pieces. You see several things that must have been salvaged from ships. Anything made of wood obviously didn't come from around here, but there are several large pulleys, beams, that sort of stuff. The communal structure is more heavily decorated, a lot of whalebone, a lot of skulls mounted about, not in like an evil way, just in a, hey, we ate this, hang it up. It looks as though they may worship totems of animals, and there's a lot of scrimshaw and carving scattered about. The last one, a standalone, seems a lot less traveled. You have more trouble finding packed down snow and ice to hop from spot to spot on. And when you get close, you recognize the smell and sights of a shamanistic magic. And before you go lifting up the corner on that one, you're like, might be a little something here. Maybe a little magic. Might want to be careful on.
Maybe I should be careful, because if there's magic, that could be. It's like I am invisible.
You are invisible.
But someone could have magic that could let them see through invisible spells. I'm not seeing anything here that's really alarming, honestly. Probably should just head back.
Sure.
Because like I'm not seeing like warriors or any. These are like hunters and fishers. I don't see like a lot of like.
Yeah, everything that you're seeing look like weapons meant to take on beasts as compared to other people.
Okay.
There's no like armor. All the bows are made for fairly short range. The harpoons are obviously, they've got the big ropes tied to them for pulling back as compared to like a combat spear or something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I will head back then.
Sure.
And uninvisible myself and report this. Like this is just, guys. I think this is just This is a pretty quiet little village. Like they're hunters and fishers. They don't seem like warriors. At least I'm not seeing any weapons other than, their hunting tools. I don't think we have anything to fear from them. They're human.
So when you were in there, you didn't see any, like, We Heart Dragon t-shirts or, White Death rules or nothing like that? No.
There were a lot of religious looking sculptures, but like animal totems. I don't think they
Just all animals, not dragons?
No dragons.
Right. Dragons are not animals, they're dragons. They're their own category. This is D&D, and that's how that works.
How many people, I'm sorry if you said, like, roughly how many people are in this, if you had to guess? Like, the whole village.
You would say the whole village is probably 200 to 300 people.
Does that seem would I know if that seems comparable to the amount of bones that we saw, like, in their landfill pit, or whatever you want to call that, out?
Sure. So comparing the amount of bones out there and the amount of food being produced by this village, you would say they are definitely harvesting and preparing a lot more food than 200 to 300 people would eat.
Yeah, so they're the dragon's bitches.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting. I mean, he can't exactly be subtle, so, just gotta have people go out and get, food for him. Now, I don't know if it's really, one, something that's reasonable for us to do, and two, really our mission overall to be slaughtering a village full of 200 to 300 people. I mean, they could be under a spell or something by him.
Or they could be being coerced.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, they could be under threat too.
We've seen dragon cults, and this doesn't look like a dragon cult. This just looks like a village of hunter-gatherers,
They just happen to be hunter-gathering for a White Death.
Yeah,
But
I don't think they have a choice, guys. You saw
They-
the same statues we did.
they might not. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if it's hunt for the dragon or be eaten, I'd hunt for the dragon too.
All right. So, I mean, I don't think.
We should probably steer clear of them, but I also
Yeah.
don't think we have a lot to worry from them.
And I don't think we can really. We're not in a position to go in and try and get information or anything from them. We got to go our own way and just kind of pay them no mind right now.
I think that's probably best.
It would help if we, spoke their language, but that doesn't happen either. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
this is the whole loop. Is Danger Mouse? Did you see anything that looked like a way in further?
There was a tent full. It was like full of. It was obviously some sort of religious tent. Lots of shamanist magic stuff going on around there, but I didn't want to go in there while I was invisible because if anything could see through the invisibility, that would look very, very suspicious. And just saying.
No, it's best to play on the safe side. Besides,
Yeah.
you went in all on your own. We appreciate you doing that.
Thank you.
So then, where the fuck is the dragon, guys? Or at least, how do we get in to wherever it is?
Well, I mean, is there any kind of blood trail? I mean, that's a lot of food there. And the village don't look that big. There's got to be some kind of feeding trail, some kind of schedule where somebody leaves this here village and heads over for feeding time. You know what I'm saying? So maybe if we just hunker down, find us a place to hide for long enough, we'll see lunch or dinner or breakfast, whatever time of day it is. It's so fucking cold up here, I can't tell. There's no sun anywhere. And he just starts complaining.
Sounds reasonable. How about a investigation?
That I can do.
Or a perception. Choices are available. On that, where's all the food going? Kind of thing.
Oh my god, I'm rolling so bad. That's a natural 2.
That is a natural 2, but thankfully your +8 brings it up high enough that you do notice that, well, that's a lot of +8 on perception, that food is being brought to the village hall considerably more than could be eaten. And when they depart, they don't have it, and they don't look like they just ate. They didn't take enough time. And it's not the storehouse. And it's not being brought in like, hey, we're going to store this kind of, wrapped up or packed. Nor is it being brought in as prepared food. It's just chunks of flesh being carried in and then not carried out.
Did they have any kind of roof with a giant bowl on the top?
They do not have a roof with a giant bowl on the top. No, they spike it with their harpoons, and he swings by and takes them like hors d'oeuvres. No, it's just
one
being
didn't
taken
have umbrellas.
into the village hall
Death.
and not back out
again. Okay, so, I mean, we know dragons fly, but it doesn't sound like he's flying around here and picking up meat. They're not bringing it to him, so...
The dragon's coming here.
Dragons coming here or there? I mean, how high up did we crawl or climb rather to get up here?
At least 100 feet.
That, yeah, yup. Plaut looks over at Joey, who's like pointing down, and he's like, "Yup."
Yeah, from beneath you it devours. Like,
what is that? Like a saying you have around here, like you in your group or something?
no, it's just whenever Dawn starts talking that demony shit, that's always what I think. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're just bringing a bunch of food in there, and if it's below, they're just probably throwing it in a pit. So that's our entry point.
Wait, what's our entry point? Where's the pit?
Where's the food going?
All right. I mean, I guess Danger Mouse didn't go in there, right?
Peeked in the village hall, saw there were supplies in there, but did not go down.
Did you see a giant
did not go
bloody
in.
hole in the center anywhere, maybe?
You think that would be fairly obvious?
You would
A
think so.
giant bloody hole would be fairly obvious. You didn't see a giant bloody hole. You did not go in to explore, though, so there can be stuff in there. Hint, hint, you guys are on the right track. So your deductions are correct.
Now, how do
You
we
believe
get
the
in?
entrance would be in there. It is getting towards nighttime. The village hall does not seem to have a lot of people in it.
Okay. Before we talk about actually leaving, I just wanted to look at the frozen icicle bodies real quick and see if there's any, like, were we given insignia or whatever, something to look for from the crew that was missing, just to confirm for them, like, yes, I saw that dead body.
The Brotherhood of the Arcane has very distinct sigils. You do not see any of those here. And none of these lined up are a tiefling that you would consider to be anywhere close to someone called Macath the Crimson. The 3 southern guards that are frozen could have been escorts, could have been guards, but it's not emblazoned on them. The others are obviously from the north, so if she had hired a local guide, or they might be from this village.
All right. Okay, cool. Plaut takes note of that and is like, damn. All right, well, we haven't hit that quest marker yet, but, you know, he'll kind of say a little sad prayer over the poor dead little icicle people. And then turn to the group and be like, well, night's approaching real quick, and I feel like, you know, something just in my tingly bits is telling me we're on the right track here. So, I got this little thing here, could let us pass by without a trace of our presence here, so to speak. If y'all want to partake of that, I think it could get us all in, and, I mean, I was going to mention it earlier, but Danger Mouse scouting alone, find out if this place was even, you know, viable for us to sneak into, seemed like the best route. But if y'all want to go, I can get us all in there, hopefully. I want to cast Pass Without Trace, you know, in case I wasn't being blunt enough.
I gotcha.
Cool.
Pass Without Trace, and then you guys are planning to sneak over and into the village hall?
That's, yeah.
Yeah?
Joey's gonna start taking off his armor and start grumbling. Fucking I'm always the loudest guy in the group.
So cold. Alright, so let's see. Stealth checks with a +10. Don't fantastically botch.
Yeah, I almost botched it.
We got a +10, that's a 20.
I'm rolling terribly tonight. Waverly?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So we can see something like a 40 stealth. Like, come on.
Just gotta embarrass them a little bit.
And I think somebody will have to roll for Dusk.
That's okay. Dusk is pretty fluffy. Just assume she bounces across the ice and snow. So let's go ahead and take us over to the map.
And the people rejoiced.
The map, which is hiding from me fantastically well.
It also passed its stealth check.
It really did. Like, really, really. Excuse me one second as I reload my page, because maybe that's chewing it up.
As Casey reloads his page, Joey's gonna start grumbling and putting back his armor on after we get into the place. Stupid, it takes forever. Thanks, Philandra, for getting my armor back. Stupid wizard.
I mean, you could wear later armor.
Plaut leans way down to Waverly. Is like, he's a bit of a grumpy Gus, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Okay. It should be dark.
It's oh so dark.
It's very dark.
Yay, dark is good.
Wow, that is a big map.
That is a big map.
As long as you're not
Easily.
using the special lighting.
All the
Please.
special lighting. All the special lighting all at once.
This place is made entirely of columns and corners.
Is
Sharp edges.
the best edges. Number 1. Number 2. Feel an area. Sort of towards the middle-ish part of the screen. Pink.
Holy crap.
Yep, big place.
This is quite the map.
Quite the map indeed. All right. Plaut. Dusk. Waverly. Raindrops at dawn. Joey. Okay. Dusk will be playing guard on the stairs. You make your way into the village hall. In the back corner, hidden behind several suspicious-looking planks, and more easily pointed out by a large beam overhead with a block and tackle hanging from it, you discover a large chute carved with icy stairs descending 100 feet in a tight spiral. Obviously, things could be lifted or lowered down there. You creep down silently. Towards the very bottom, a bed piled with furs has been arranged in the southwest corner, from which a loud sound of coughing can be intermittently heard. It echoes up the stairwell as you descend. There's a small amount of light in the room coming from a whale oil lamp, and someone is huddled close to it in that pile of furs. They don't seem to have noticed your approach yet, thanks to your stealth and the spell. Joey's being extra cautious these last couple of steps now that he's got his iron booties back on.
Clunk, clunk.
What are y'all doing?
I'll make the go around motion, seeing as we're still all sneaky ninjas.
Sneak, sneak, sneak.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just looking for nods or head shakes.
Yep. So you guys kind of recommend the sneaky route. The last few feet of the descent are handled by a ladder, which comes out of that circular opening down to the floor. You make your way down. The person in and amongst the pile of furs doesn't seem to notice you. There's 2 exits, north or south, opening up into further rooms. And does anyone have sight problems, like requiring light?
I got my goggles. I'm fine.
Okay.
Checking.
Goggles on.
Goggles on.
Yeah, I have a lot of things, but dark vision is not one of them.
Okay. So Tortle, you have light for where you are right now, but moving out into the hallways, not as well lit.
Hey, Fluffy or Anger Cat, can I hold on to your tail or something? It's real dark down in here.
We have a light spell.
Oh, all right then.
I have, yes. All right. What do you want to be your flashlight?
But Joey will make like the finger on lips and then the tiptoe 2-finger walk.
I feel like someone's doing something, but I can't. I don't.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. I'm more than happy to have Plaut like ride my coattails, for lack of a better phrasing. I just don't know if we want to blow being stealthy, since we already have it up and active.
You want to hold hands, Joey?
Let's hold hands.
All right.
Your hands are massive.
Well, thank you. I mean, you'll get there one day. You're still growing, I'm sure.
So north or south would the party like to head?
Joey's gonna point this way.
We're gonna pretend that's south.
Yeah, that looks good.
Well, I sure do hope you're leading me in the front of the line there, Tiny Hands, so that I'm sure that the tiny people aren't going in front.
Steering Plaut from behind.
Because you're gonna step on them. Got it.
So ahead, you see piles and piles of meat, mostly dried fish, whale, seal, walrus, even a few giant squid, and furs, fish organs, shells, bones, soft stone, other sundries stored in smaller quantities, inks, brushes, parchment, just everything piled in here. One single left-handed steel gauntlet, a silver brooch, looks like a dueling knife, but only the hilt. A really huge belt buckle, like obnoxiously big. Just random stuff.
Is there any evidence of, like, immediate evidence of things walking or living in this room?
So, no immediate evidence, but the floor down here is carved from the ice. So, over even just a little bit of time, it will thaw and refreeze, erasing anyone who's not walking barefoot. Barefoot people leave slightly deeper tracks, but they go away over time too.
I'm going to look at Danger Mouse and see if Danger Mouse is going immediately for piles of weird stuff that she might consider loot. And if she is, I will stay in the room. Otherwise, I will start hugging this wall around. Because when there's weird stuff, there's a Danger Mouse.
Well,
I kind of hope she picks up that comically large belt buckle.
It is tempting.
All right, and then not seeing Danger Mouse immediately approach it, I will continue down this way. What's up here?
sure. Away to the north, another cavern. Let's... This direction, a little bit better lit. Another whale oil lamp sitting in the middle of this room. But you can see more light coming from away to the east. where another entrance is available. This particular room is filled with waste, litter, old food scraps, worn out boots, and other useless junk.
Okay, it's the junk room, but there's light coming from the other way.
There is light coming from the other direction.
I believe you.
And soon you'll be able to see it.
Well, not at your pace.
Says the turtle.
As you start
That's how
moving
bad it
through,
is.
as you start moving through this room, you realize you're sort of stepping up, and it's not stairs. It's just that's how deep this junk is. There's several feet of just junk piled up, and then a bit of water thrown on top and allowed to freeze before more junk is piled in. This must be centuries worth of junk.
Oh, gross.
It's
It's a garbage iceberg. It's gross.
Dawn, can you help me out here? Can you help me translate this height of garbage into dragon years, so we know what we're dealing with here?
Is that your specialty in this here group? You calculate garbage per year?
Hey, you count tree rings. We count other ways of determining the year.
I already done told you I don't know nature, even though I probably should, so.
So I mean, an inspection of the layers and some, excavating down towards the bottom, if you do elect to do that, reveals that, yeah, there's probably at least 2 centuries worth of junk in here. There's some old stuff down there at the bottom.
It's
I
still
mean,
garbage.
this could be the archaeological find of the century.
Do we look like archaeologists to you?
Not really.
No, but how does that line up with the previous Dragon's Age? Like, we went through a white dragon already. Does this white dragon, is this probably going to be older?
Adultish, I believe. Couple centuries.
You would expect so.
Alright, so same shit, different day, so it'll be fine. See? Plaut, it'll be fine. And then Joey's gonna wrap around and check out the light source that's over here.
Sure. And as Joey wraps around, he finds a dozen kobolds occupy this disheveled and filthy chamber. Half-eaten fish heads and gnawed seal flippers are tossed into corners or carelessly strewn around matted heaps of fur, which would undoubtedly smell as bad as they look, if not for the cold, freezing them near to solid. The kobolds are all brilliantly white.
Well, we know what that means.
Where there be kobolds, there be larger, like dragon-type things, usually. Somewhere nearby.
Eloquently
And-
put.
Joey, I think you're the only one who can peek around the corner at the moment. Can I have a perception check from you? Nothing special.
Can I?
5. Well, what are you gonna do?
I can't see shit. Otherwise, I'd peek up over his head like a doorway
I mean, you
style.
can see they've got little lamps going on.
Oh, well, I can. Oh, here, move to the side. I can't see past you. Or I can. You're perfect.
Yeah, yeah. And it's actually not so much what you see; it's what you hear. As the kobolds are moving around, you hear this odd little clicking scrape, and you look down at their feet, and they don't normally wear shoes, but they've got weird contraptions strapped on their feet to like make little spikes down below. Any of you that might have been familiar with the North know about the spiked shoes that are used for walking on ice. And as you kind of scuff your foot on the ground, you're like, yeah, that is pretty slick. Maybe we won't want to run on this.
So, metagaming wise, walking might be a problem.
Walking should be fine.
Okay.
Any dashing might
Noted.
be risky.
I was kind of hoping you were going for ice skates, but yeah, that makes much more sense, the spikes thing.
Ice skates would work. You could ice skate down here.
No, I mean, a bunch of kobolds ice skating. I mean, that would be great, but yeah, that's a little ridiculous.
Does having clawed feet help at all?
Not with the level of claws that you have. If you put your hands down and really dug in hands and feet, you'd be fine. But I mean, cats mostly walk on their pads.
I feel like Dawn especially would never be caught dead on all fours. Like, just way beneath him.
Okay, so murder? I mean, Dusk isn't awake, so this is the only chance we'll have.
Dusk is actually in there secretly taking care of the sick person.
That's probably a good point. Fluffy does have a large heart for all sorts of living creatures, and that can sometimes be a detriment to the continued party living thing.
Well, if these things are not alive, then she has nothing to worry about.
Got it. Murdering the Kobos.
As he starts kind of scooting back this way.
Okay, so I'm hearing the word murder repeatedly, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the initiative order here. If anyone would like to add themselves to it, they certainly may.
I mean, we could give them a chance as we hit the first one to see if maybe they'll... Okay, and everybody, it looks like everybody in the party just slowly turns towards Plaut and is like, fuck off. So, never mind.
Yeah, I feel like weapons free might have just been declared, so we're just going to go ahead and roll these little guys in here.
Could I possibly request a 5-minute break before we get into mutilating?
Let's do a 5-minute break, and maybe we'll even get our Dusk back.
Woo!
See how that goes.
Woo!
Yeah, no takesy backsies on the initiative, sorry. Sorry, Fluffy.
What? Oh.
If she comes back.
We'll plant a knife on him, it'll be okay.
That's horrible. Alright, BRB.
Ooh. Waverly's boots give advantage on stealth? That is ridiculous.
Okay, I'm back. That took a while.
Yay, welcome back.
What have I missed?
We were just catching a break. The party has found its way to the Iceberg Plateau, made their way up, discovered a village of hunters, deduced that the hunters were assisting the dragon, though maybe against their will, and delivering food down to it through a large chute. They have descended that chute and staircase, and are now making their way through the tunnels below. They found one sick person coughing in a blanket, moved past him stealthily, and are now coming across a room of kobolds. It looks like the kobolds have a knife, and they're going to have to be dealt with.
Wait, we just ignored the sick person?
Just ignore the sick person. Just move right on past.
Oh, did they, oh, is it too late? I don't know.
No, it's just around the corner. So you guys were under the effect of a pass without trace spell.
Okay.
So everybody's like very like, shh, not yet, not yet. And you made your way around the corner. So let's see, what did you find? This room over here had the sick person in it. He's sitting in that little pile of blankets there. This one right here is a storeroom filled with frozen food, salted food, and a bunch of random and miscellaneous gear. The one that you're moving through now is actually several feet higher due to just piles of trash that have been frozen to the floor by throwing water on top of it, and then more trash and more water and more trash and more water. Probably at least 2 centuries worth of refuse frozen in this room. And then down here, a bunch of kobolds. They have weird spiky bits on their feet to assist them in walking on the ice. So you feel that dashing might be dangerous across these icy floors. Walking normally probably okay. Numing might be a concern. So be aware.
Also need to assume she wouldn't launch herself full speed like a bowling ball at all of them.
I mean, valid, but similarly valid, you might just start numing and find yourself not moving. Like, you might just be like, legs kicking furiously, just sliding along. But yes, about a dozen kobolds in the next room. They are brilliantly white. And
That's the dragon. Cool.
And Joey and Plaut have signaled that the kobolds are up to no good. Be ready to attack. And initiative has just been rolled.
Cool.
So please include yourself on the initiative turn order.
Okay. Is it too late for us to just like peek around at the sick person and try to gauge if they're like a friendly person or not?
So you actually came down in that room. You actually descended right about here-ish is where you came down from the ceiling. There's a hole in the ceiling up above. And he was over there. He's in bundled up in blankets. There's a little whale oil lamp near him. And it's warmer down here than it is up top. So the air is still, there's not as much wind blowing through to steal the heat away from you. And the ice is maintaining closer to 32 degrees, whereas up there, you know, it's getting much colder than that. So he's probably down here to keep him out of the chill and also isolated, because if sickness spreads, that's bad. But no one tried to do any diagnosis on him because they did not want to alert him to their presence.
So does he look like an enemy guard, or
he looks like a sick person in blankets. So that's about as much as they know.
Oh, okay.
Let's go ahead and sort out the turn order. So Waverly will be acting first when it's action time. Wow, your crit fail on initiative is still a 6.2. That's ridiculous.
I was very amused to see that, yeah.
Like, if I roll a 1, I'm going at, like, -3, so... I'm always envious of you speedy people. Someday I'll play a high dex character. Someday.
Someday I'll play a character with charisma.
Wasn't Spirit Cat Dexy?
Spirit Cat was reasonably dexy, and actually Rogue is reasonably dexy too. But not, like, at ridiculous levels yet. So... He'll get there, though. Soon. Hello? Yay! They had a knife.
You can't
What's a
keep
knife?
one.
What a knife?
They had mentioned that you might feel bad attacking the kobolds, so they were going to plant a knife on the kobold.
Oh.
Wait,
But-
are these 10-foot squares?
They are 10-foot squares. 10-foot squares. Wait, is that right? No, they're supposed to be 5-foot squares. Roll 20! One moment.
Could be further away.
World's gonna flash for a moment. Okay, should be back to 5-foot squares now.
He is going for like.
What's that? What do you want? No, just pick one. Oh, that's right. I had to look at that. Do I not have Storm King's Thunder? I thought I had that.
Has, but might not be imported.
Might not be imported, or I might need to grab it from... I will figure that one out. Yes, please pick a different thing. You feel that it would not like this ice. Maybe. Even though it's specifically a crag cat. I don't know. Yeah. You haven't seen one of those yet. Waverly,
Yeah.
what you doing?
Probably storming in. Or are we storming in an attack? Like that's what we're gonna do. I have anxiety about being the first one to attack. I really do.
Our plan was murder,
Okay.
so that's as far as we got. That's
All
basically
right.
as far as we get with most plans.
Alright.
Joey's gonna make a sign like he wants to put something over there. Given that I haven't actually casted that spell ever, we might not have talked about it, but it looks like he's probably gonna put something in that area.
Okay.
I can
That's
shoot something not in that area then.
Sure.
I'll shoot this guy.
Sounds good.
Phew.
Yes, you will shoot that guy, and
Probably not sneak damage. Yeah, no sneak damage, I guess.
we're actually gonna
Oh,
give it
are
to you
they-
because you're riding on like a 30-something sneak from your actual sneak.
Okay.
So
take it.
yeah, you're just gonna like he's just gonna fall over. The others haven't even noticed that the combat has started yet. Waverly, anything else?
Move over here and blend into the wall.
Yes, and I think
I was-
Pass
I was-
Without Trace might still be on, so that might be a solid 40.
I think I was supposed to roll advantage there, but who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. So this kobold's gonna look over like, "Hey Joe, do you know Joe? Oh no, we're under attack!" And he'll start rushing over to see what's going on with Joe here. Poor dead Joe. He doesn't see anyone to attack. They start running over. Like, what's going on? Looking around, still don't see anything, and they take the dodge action. It's just mass confusion, hysteria sets in. There's screaming, there's crying. Everybody starts to feel a little bad about their choices as murder hobos. This kobold comes over here, is like, is something over here? And
Not
Plaut.
hobos. We're just murderers.
I think we're hobos. Waverly's a hobo.
They look evil.
All right, so you guys see Plot just kind of talking to himself for a second and kind of like getting angry. And I am going to bonus action rage. Going to action turn into a giant big red dinosaur, as far as you guys can see. And I am going to rush on in. And he'll, right before he changes, he'll be like, we don't need no plan. This'll work out just fine. And big angry red dinosaur goes rushing in. He's got 60 movement, so... God, is that his real size? Shit. Okay, 60 feet. You said each one of these is 10 or 5?
5. Each are 5.
Can I just get here reasonably? Just in the mess?
Sure.
Cool, that's where
Seems
I wanted
reasonable.
to go. Yep. And unfortunately, I can't really do anything once getting there. I'm all out of stuff, but I look real menacing, and I can't talk anymore.
Okay. Dawn. As a giant red dinosaur rushes past, what are you doing?
It's kind of like, But,
Super cool.
man is going to blasto at this fellow here. Boink. Still up?
No. No.
Then we'll go to the one beyond.
Also no.
Poof, poof. And then we'll continue. I forget where I started, but I guess I'll just kind of continue this way to get out of view.
Okay. Kobolds now seeing the trouble start rushing forward. Slings whir, and they launch towards the giant dinosaur. Sling number 1. Ooh, good job, Kobold.
Wow.
5 points of damage. Sling number 2, Kobold. Probably 6 points of damage.
Some kind of damage, yes.
Probably half of these numbers that I'm saying. Kobold number 3. For some reason, they just don't seem to want to rush into close proximity with this. Sling.
Yeah,
Another points of damage.
He's really hamming it up. Ow.
Oh, the pain. Kobold, sling, dinosaur. 14?
Yeah.
Oh. Another 4 to 2 points of damage. Joey, this poor dinosaur, it can't handle this abuse. What are you doing?
Oh no, the giant the turtle turned into a fucking dinosaur, so...
He can still hear.
I'm just gonna go ahead and draft behind this dinosaur.
Yeah, you want to cut down on the airflow.
Yeah.
Wind resistance.
And then we're gonna put, I'll step one more forward, I guess. And then I'm gonna go ahead and create bonfire and split it between those 2 squares.
Okay. Fire happens. You can draw your fire. And Joey, anything else?
Not that I'm gonna use a bonus on. Nope.
Blue fire. Dusk. You're kind of lingering in the back, worrying about the sick person. You hear combat up ahead. What you doing now?
Well, now I have to move forward, so let me just... We did change these back to 5 foot
They are
squares,
5
right?
foot squares, yes.
Okay. Just making sure. Freaking. Frick. Okay, so... I think my first move will just... I guess my entire turn will just be catching up to everybody, because I have to linger behind.
So what's your movement?
It is 45 feet, I think, so if I move next to Plaut, it should be okay.
Yeah, you can get next to Plaut.
Yep, it is 45. I just had to double check. Boop.
Sure. You can attempt to dash, but you may end up sliding a bit.
Yeah, I
Numing
don't
same
wanna
effect.
don't want to do that just yet, so I think
Okay.
I should just stay put.
No problem. That brings up one more kobold. This one, so brave. Rushes forward with the daggers. Stabs with advantage at the dinosaur. 5 points on the dinosaur. Waverly.
Okay. Pop out. I think you guys have got that guy under control. I'm gonna shoot all the way. I'm gonna shoot that guy.
Okay. You are super stealth, so advantage is yours. Curiously enough, 12 will do.
Amazing.
You drop a kobold. Waverly, anything else for you? Back in
Like-
there, and
Vanish again.
yeah, only a 20 this time though, because I believe the pass without trace had to go away
Yeah,
for
that
concentration.
mhm,
This is
it's hard
true.
to be
This is
both
true.
dinosaur and stealthy.
Yep.
It is true.
So yeah, only a 20. Kobold next to the dinosaur stabs with daggers with advantage. 18 for 4. Kobold a little further away. All you people are doing this really good thing of hiding, so it's just going to be sling at the dinosaur. Sling dinosaur. 11? Probably
No.
not. Kobold, sling dinosaur. 6, no. Kobold. Would like to have gone that way, but is like, alright, if you're gonna shut down my way to go, you're gonna come up here and he's gonna sling at Joey. Joey, sling. 11, no. Dinosaur.
Rar chomp chomp. This one is the one that hit me with the dagger?
Yes.
Yeah, ow. That was like a toothpick. Rar. Nyah.
Yeah.
And then he'll just turn and face this one and just... Rar.
Kobolds taste like chicken.
That's it.
Just
Yeah.
Dawn.
Scoot down here. Go for that guy. Nope, that's Edgar sheet. Here we go. Boom.
Boom. Hey, he lives!
Dawn, do you have the plus charisma thing?
Not for very long.
I'm supposed to.
Yep, he didn't live. Never mind. Neither did the next one.
My charisma's bonus for damage is gone.
Maybe they thought they lived
Again.
for a second.
Yeah, he was like, I lived! And he looks over at Dawn, and Dawn's like,
one should be
lowest
a
blasted.
+5. It should be 5. It should have been 8 damage.
yeah, that's enough.
So second one should be 15 damage towards this guy.
Yep, he's not going to survive that.
Bloop.
Dawn, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Alright. Kobolds start looking desperate. Sling stones. Barrage. This one's actually going to look for the soft target. Dawn. 30 feet? Ah, too far. He'll go for Joey. Joey, sling. 18, Joey?
Meets it beats.
4 points of bludgeoning damage. Is that bonfire concentration?
I'm getting there. I'm clicking it. Hey.
No, they're still trapped. Other kobolds seeing what this one's laying down. It's like, hey, if we get rid of that one, we get to run away, right? Sling, Joey. 13's gonna miss. And Joey turn.
Yeah. Kobolds shouldn't throw glass. Kobolds and glass. Nope. Joey's got nothing. So we're gonna, go ahead and pike this kobold that's next to me here.
Yep, he is piked.
Nice. And then we're gonna pike the kobold below him.
Yep.
And then we're gonna step that 5 feet back, and then I'm gonna bonus action from Great Weapon Master, and I'm gonna pike this kobold in front of the dinosaur.
Okay. Yeah, that was a pretty scary combination. Should that last one have been bludgeoning instead of piercing?
No, Great Weapon Master.
Oh, Great Weapon Master.
End.
I gotcha. Joey, anything else then?
No. No, I'm tired.
Got it. Dusk.
Okay. If I walk over here, I could probably no. Hold on. Oops, this is 15, 25, 40. Okay, so I can move next to this giant dinosaur, which does feel a little, how do I put... She's conflicted about, because part of her is just like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen, and the other thing is just like, that's also terrifying, so...
I mean, there are bits of kobold hanging out of its mouth right now, so yes.
Oh god, that's terrifying. Okay, so she's gonna come in, around here-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Just to prepare if any of these, kobolds get within range of her throne knives.
Sure.
'Cause
use what? A thrown dagger?
Yep.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna prepare it in case any of them get in range.
Sounds good. Waverly.
There's a dinosaur in my way.
You're gonna be saying that a lot.
Yeah. I can still get this guy.
Sure. You have advantage. He has partial cover, but I don't know that it'll matter for him. Fire away. Yep, not gonna matter for him. And he fall. Anything else?
Run up here and hide behind Dusk. Disappear behind Dusk.
That's gonna bring up our kobold. Our kobold would really like to get out of here. He lobs a stone at Joey, trying to bring down that magical fire. Nope. He just sort of... What is the furthest possible distance? I'm gonna get like over here. Plaut.
You see Plaut, you see the dinosaur kind of tamp his feet excitedly and then start running in a straight line towards the kobold. I was going to do a dance to get to you, but now I can just straight line pounce you. I need a DC 13 saving throw or you're knocked prone, assuming I hit with this.
Wow, you cut it pretty slim there, but yes, you do pounce on him.
I'm so
and
excited.
he is prone and dead, so...
But
slide.
numb. But I can make numb.
Oh, and then yes, you just down, tear, rip in half, kind of sled across with his body up against the far wall. It's beautiful if you're into really, really gory stuff.
I turn around and arc my head towards Joey and burp, and then arrow towards the fire.
So yeah, the room itself, mostly full of junk. There are those little cramp-on foot spikes that you could recover from the kobolds and attach to your own feet that might help should you decide to run. There are other things scattered here and there, the most valuable of which are some carved walrus tusks, but they're not very good.
Oh. How disappointing.
I don't know what he was expecting from kobolds. It's like he's ripping shoes off and shoving spikes on the bottom of his feet.
See,
Stupid
this is why you
ice.
should always wear spiked armor. So we're going to go ahead and clear the turn order here. Congratulations, you've defeated the kobolds. And there is an opening out ahead.
Stealthy
And a
dinosaur.
passage. I'm not sure that dinosaur's super stealthy.
Yeah.
And a passage leading north or south.
He just quickly realizes that he can't see either, and kind of tries to step aside. Hmm?
Can Dusk try and ride on the dinosaur?
Yes, is the size larger, so if
I'm a
Plaut is
large
willing.
beast. Yeah, I mean, of course, Fluffy and I, of course.
Sure. Yep.
Now, Joey, I'd probably have problems, but because we're just not there yet.
I was made.
But
to
I
ride
could turn it.
on
I
the
could turn the wings into a lance, and it can be a whole thing.
Yes, you could play joust. But
I
at
guess
the
really,
moment,
really, I would be allowed. Waverly can ride all of you.
that's true.
She's just now realizing this. Says out loud.
Waverly can use any of you as a mount. So, north or south, do we think?
I just can't wait to see whoever or whatever might be waiting in these caverns. I'm just imagining them confronted with the sight of a mouse riding on a tabaxi, riding on a dinosaur,
Yes,
coming
please.
their way.
It's a friendship stack. Oh, that's right. Waverly did use Valandra as a mount before, moving about once or twice.
This is true.
So, but this is the first time a triple stack has been attempted.
That's how it's going to be known from now on.
So, which direction are people headed?
I'm gonna point us a little bit south. And it's seeing as there's literally a comedy of errors going on behind, I'll look at Dawn and be like, south?
Shrugs and starts to head south.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing.
Stacks on stacks on stacks.
So, another area branches to the south and east. Another tunnel leans around to the south and west. The floor, as you've been descending, as you've been continuing, has been sloping downwards. You're now at a little bit lower an elevation than you were before. Keep creeping along. Start to see a little bit more over here. More this way.
Ooh, those look like wall spikes.
Yeah.
Do look like wall spikes. Let's talk about what you see over there. So as you start peering around that corner, trophies of the dragon's many battles are displayed in this chamber. You can't see much from the doorway. There's a lot of fog moving through this room. But what you can see are frozen in the walls at least 2 Remorises, a trio of Behirs, 5 abominable Yetis, and a giant squid of truly mammoth size. This is probably the cousin of a kraken. A complete longship with sail raised is also on display. The ship is clearly not able to fit through any of the passages that you've passed through so far. Boop.
I mean, if there's a ship, I mean, it stands to reason it could have been one of... Does it look recently added? Or is that hard to tell?
From this distance, hard to tell. The fog in the room limits visibility. You would need to move into this room.
Okay. Avoiding all sense of logic here. Is there any light source in here at all?
Not that you're not carrying with you.
Okay. I will start moving towards the ship to see if it's anything that is anything.
Sure. It goes from more of a grayish, blackish outline to now a little bit more clear. Dinosaur might still be having trouble with it, unless somebody's carrying a light source with them.
Dinosaur would point at boat before walking to it and give riders a chance to unmount. Just
sure.
FYI.
You got it. As you get closer, you do realize that this boat shows signs of having been disassembled and reassembled. The caulking and the fittings to it are not quite right. But it was reasonably well done. More of interest than its repair, however, is the large chest of gold and gems that is sitting on the deck of the boat.
You didn't say that loud enough. Waverly didn't hear you.
I don't know. Waverly's out there. Waverly can't see it. Or wait, is Waverly in the...
Yeah, we were triple stacking it. I don't know if they got
stack?
off.
Yes.
Okay,
No,
so yes.
We're definitely triple stacking.
Okay.
Waverly and Dusk, you can all see the chest of gold and jewels.
Where are the other things in the walls? Just at these points here?
So yes, there's some here, some here. They're all scattered about, all different places. The squid is actually up overhead, like the tentacles of each like going down the walls, like it was stuck up there and then frozen and made to like make nice little patterns in the room. It's actually quite artistic. If it wasn't like a squid overhead.
What size are what's the ceiling in here? Or how high is
it goes up quite a ways, about 40 feet up.
It's dragon sized.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big hall.
Donji, can you bibbity boppity and see if anything in here is magical? Because that's clearly a trap.
And he does so because he can for free.
You bibbity boppity, and yes, the chest and treasure is magical.
It appears to be so.
And the school of that chest and treasure is abjuration.
Trap. Ugh.
Like, is it the entire chest? Or, like, in the chest?
It looks to be the entire chest. Like, the chesty object. However, as you are examining it, you're like, oh, that's like, probably, like, 400 gold, 1,500 electum, maybe 500 silver. Ooh, and pretty gems and jewelry. So, you're like, I mean, $1,000 to $1.50 in gold in that chest right there.
I mean, if you want it, like, we should figure out what that magic is actually on it. Otherwise, we can always come back to it, after we've got another white dragon under our belts.
That would be the smart thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
It'll still be here whether the dragon is dead or not. Preferably dead.
Sure.
Thumb down to little cat.
So, as you are looking over the chest, would someone please volunteer to roll 1d10 for me? Oh, excuse me, 1d6 for me. 2. Okie doke.
Okay.
Okay.
We good? Danger Mouse will come back for the treasure.
Probably.
And I mean, honestly, what is it? $1,500? That's what? Pocket change to us now, right?
Chop
Or at least
change.
to you guys.
Yeah.
Rar.
Who needs that?
Might be a lot to Plaut, though. Maybe we should come back just for Plaut.
Plaut.
So much licorice.
Rawr.
Rar.
You make your way along the hallway.
Ew, what's that?
That, the chamber to the north feels far colder than any area of the ice caves you've explored so far. The cold issues from a yawning pit in the floor that twists down into darkness, and above which hangs a heavy iron hook anchored to the ice in the ceiling. A 5-foot walkway extends around both sides of the pit, connecting the entrance to the exit of the room across from it. Carved into the ice of the walls are images of white dragons in flight. The walkway looks safe enough, aside from being icy and narrow, and, just next to a bottomless pit. Totally safe.
I mean, not a big fan of bottomless pit.
Rar.
Oh, can you just let me know if anything pops with those magical spectacles of yours?
So, another room off to the south and the west, hallway continuing along.
Rar. Did you really just say
Rar.
that?
Yes, we gotta have hallway conversations. The keystone of a big dungeon.
Keystone of Big Dungeon. This chamber is empty.
Dinosaur huff of frustration.
There is a exit to the north and west from this chamber. And the hallway continues along.
When you say exit, do you mean like sunlight exit?
Additional hallway. Additional hallway, I should say.
Grumble check.
Grumble check. And pause there if you would. Please, everyone, align yourselves as you would if excitement were to happen. And then,
Triple
for
stack. Oh no.
reasons,
All right.
please go ahead and add yourselves to the turn order.
FYI, Plaut would have told everybody in this party that should you choose to ride, you're along for the ride or you're not. So, like, do they get a chance? I don't know how this would really work. Would they get a chance to hop off before I move or no?
If their turn comes first.
Okay. Just clarifying. Sorry,
So
guys.
it's like,
I will
there's
try
only one speed, yours. You can't post up, don't mount up. I'm not sure where we're going with this one.
Hey, you ride the dinosaur, you... I don't know, I got nothing.
So, the empty ice floor of this chamber holds a most unexpected sight. Perhaps. A large shelter is seemingly built of scraps and in the style of the tents used by the desert nomads of Calabashan, some 2,000 miles to the south. The shelter is made from huge tapestries and carpets draped across a frame of what looks like whale ribs. It stands about 8 feet tall and around 20 feet wide, about 30 feet long. The bottoms of the walls drape all the way down to the floor, leaving no gap underneath. There's no obvious entrance to it, but you could probably just squeeze between any one of the rugs or tapestries to get inside. And if I could ask every one of you to roll a d6 as you consider what to do. Everybody volunteers for that d6 so quickly. There we go, a 5. Everything's fine.
So is this like, this is basically a tapestry?
No, the tapestry, they didn't really depict it super well. Let's draw some shapes. Whoop.
I like art.
Womp. Is that on the right lever? Nope, of course not. Why would I get on the right layer?
I was wondering where the womp was.
Womp.
Oh, womp.
So like, kind of like that. Smaller though because it doesn't go into the wall. So big tapestries. Kind of like that. You can see light sneaking out from inside. And Waverly, what are you doing with this information, if anything, as you are mounted on the back of Plaut the Allosaurus?
I think I should get off the Alice.
Fair enough.
I'll just, parkour my way down the dinosaur.
Sure.
Actually, what's the distance here? Run up to here and hide.
Certainly may.
Dusk, don't forget to roll an ish.
Ooh, yes, Dusk, please, initiative.
Crap. I forgot that we cleared it from last time. There we go.
So Dusk will say, what do you do next? Now that Waverly has hopped off your back, you are now on the Allosaurus's back. What would you like to do?
Is the floor still frozen? Is just everything frozen?
Everything's frozen. It's all ice down here.
Oh boy. I will join Waverly.
Sure.
I'm gonna peek around corners and try not to be seen.
You got it. You also get a good look at that tapestry, and then we ask Dawn what Dawn is doing.
Dawn. He's moving slow. He's gonna stay back. Just prepare dodge action, I suppose.
Sure.
Letting them head up.
Allosaurus, what are you doing?
Okay, so the curtains are only at the orange spot, right?
Curtains are only at the orange spot, correct.
Okay. The giant dinosaur will start tiptoeing forward. Like, trying not to alert things, because people are saying, oh, there's dingly balls on the curtains, and even though he can't really see all that well, he believes them, and is coming up next to them.
Okay. Are you rolling a stealth as a dinosaur?
I suppose I am. I guess I've, cornered myself into that. Just Dex.
Yep, just Dex.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, you're
Snake eyes.
So sneaky. So sneaky. And then Joey.
That's my kind of dinosaur. That's my kind of dinosaur. I will get on the dinosaur.
Okay. Joey hops on the so sneaky dinosaur just to make it extra sneaky.
This is why you rolled 2 1s. See, you've got a role-playing reason. It's my fault. Blame it on Joey. And then I will ready attack if anything is within my reach.
Sounds good. And something is indeed within your reach. Dropping down from above, a icy creature, light blue in color, troll-like in form, snatches at Joey. Joey, what is your passive perception?
16?
Ooh, that's a pretty good passive perception.
Yeah, 16.
However, it is better and does manage to stay stealth as it gets this bite off. Bite attack with advantage, Joey. 14 probably isn't going to do.
Not so much.
It tries to rake you with 2 sets of claws. 20 for 10.
Yep.
21 for 7.
Ooh, that's good damage.
And there's a big-ass ice troll standing beside you.
Oh, that sounds like a problem.
I mean, he's not super friendly. Unfortunately, you're just not into it today.
Alright, and then the second one...
Wait, second
That's
one?
not much better. 2 attacks. Oh, it's ready, only 1. Yeah, ready's only 1. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think ready's
Gypsies.
only 1. But good news, we didn't have the fumble chart turned on yet, so you didn't have to roll anything special. That's going to bring us round to Dusk. Dusk, what you up to?
Being severely concerned about the ice troll, I'm gonna focus on that first. So
Sure.
I'm going to, luckily this thing is close enough that I don't have to dash, so I'm gonna get close to it and do my punchy punch thing.
Sure can. Let's see some punchy punching.
I've got claws, so hopefully that helps somehow. Okay. 1
That'll hit.
and 2.
Also hit.
Cool, and I will just stick with a 2 for now, because that's my usual
Wait,
amount.
I feel like you should have 2 frees and then a bonus.
Oh, I still
Don't-
have the bonus? I thought the second was the bonus.
Don't you have regular multi-attack by this point?
Maybe. I'm checking.
I'm looking as well.
We're level a lot, so I would imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
might
like-
you might even have 3 at this point,
Oh wow.
which is making me nervous as I'm thinking about it. Let me see here.
Yeah,
level-
5th level's extra attack.
Level 5 extra attack. So yes.
I've been 5 and I've only been doing the 2.
Yeah, but you've
And
got
then
two regular punches and then at least 1 bonus unarmed strike. So that's
Ooh.
3 without effort.
Cool, then I'm gonna take that and run with it. 'Cause why
Sure.
not?
13 unfortunately will not hit, but the first
And
2
that-
did.
When Dusk slips on the ice. Cool.
And then yeah, didn't put on those spiky bits. Anything else?
No, I'm gonna stay here for now.
Okie doke. Waverly.
Okay. Excuse me.
Little ice crystal in the throat.
Oh, okay.
Breathe. Breathe.
I'm trying. Then I. Okay. Well. Run over here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I need to go get a drink. All right. Arrow at the ice troll.
Yep. No stealth on this one. He watched the whole thing, and you did not get away from his eyes. So standard attack, please.
Fine.
But you do get sneakiness.
I do get sneakiness.
19 hits. 19 is plenty of damage. That hurts. Anything else?
I pop over here and hide from the ice troll. Or is he too clever for that?
He can kind of still see you from
Big
there.
dinosaur. Big dinosaur.
Can I hide behind the dinosaur?
Well, I think only halflings can do that. You have to get behind something that obscures you, and I don't know that a dinosaur automatically does.
Darn.
What if I spend my action just doing jazz hands?
Well, I mean, yes, you could do that.
Sometimes you can't hide. It's fine.
Yeah. No corner that way. Dawn, though. What's Dawn up to? Muted?
He's firing blasts.
Bliss. Oh, there we
At
go.
least one.
One will definitely hit.
I
15
think
points of
it's
damage.
Doing my actual damage properly now.
I see the +5. +5. Scary. The second one will miss, though. Dawn,
Yes.
anything else?
Scoot back over here.
See, that's how you hide. Allosaurus.
Yeah, what the heck? Let's do something fun. The dinosaur kind of gives Joey a little wink, and will walk this way, like 30 feet, taking the attack of opportunity if given.
Okay. Yeah, the troll will try and stop that. It'll be like, I'll bite you. 15 for 9.
Yes, and it did.
Mm-hmm. And you are not currently raging?
That is correct.
Okay.
And
So
then
it feels good about itself?
yeah, it should for just a second, and then it's gonna like do a little scrape of its paw and like pounce towards this thing and try and attack.
12 will not do.
Well, darn. That's about it.
All
He's
right.
very disappointed in himself.
Allosaurus tears. Joey.
Oh my god, Allosaurus tears.
Allosaurus tears.
Oh, that's disappointing. Bad option or worse option. Let's go with trolls don't like fire, right? That's a thing. Let's make some fire.
I mean, I've heard that. DC 15 dexterity saving throw. Get out of the way, troll. It gets out the way. Is that half damage or negate?
Negate. It's a cantrip, so negate.
Negate cantrip. So it gets out the way.
And then I'm gonna bonus action my little itty bitty second wind.
Sounds good. And then bonfire, if it ends its turn in the bonfire, it takes
Ends
more
its
damage?
turn.
Okay, it does not want to do that. It's going to look around. It's going to see Joey, who's making fire happen. And
On a giant dinosaur. Jazz hands. Dinosaur.
I mean, dinosaur, jazz hands, Joey. It's not a completely unintelligent creature. So bites and claws, starting off with Joey. Joey, bite. 20 for 8.
I'll do.
Is that bonfire still there? Yes. Joey, claw. 25 for 15. You can keep that bonfire up. Joey, claw. Nope. It does not want fire. It tries to
Yeah.
move out of the fire and takes a lot of attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, it does. Get it, Dusk.
Yep, it does. Dusk, if you would like to start the attacks of opportunity round.
Yep. I just gotta get a little closer. But yes, okay, time for.
Oh no, you can stay where you are.
So
It
just
is
'cause
attack
it
of attack of opportunity from it moving away from you.
Cool.
Free punch.
So even if it does move, I don't have to move with it.
Yep, you got it.
Okay. Then boom.
Oh,
Oh, that was not
good
20.
punch. 7
Are
points.
there any on-hit
Yeah,
effects you want to apply to that?
I don't think there's anything I can do.
Yeah, I don't think on a. I mean, a smite.
Point.
Can
Like,
you
I
spend a
could
key
use-
point on?
I don't know if I can do it on opportunity attacks. Is the question. I don't think there's any reason I can't.
So I think
That is the
opportunity
rule.
attacks are just like a quick attack as they're running by.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's all it
I
can
wouldn't have
be.
enough time to charge it with a key point. So just a regular punch is fine.
I mean, usually the rule is if it doesn't say you can't, you can. Or, more importantly, if Casey says, whatever Casey says is what you can.
I'm looking for. You're a drunken master, right?
Yep.
Valandra's freaking out in the Twitch chat.
Tipsy.
Copy pastas.
Yeah, you could do a stunning strike if you have a stunning strike. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, if you wanna.
Because it's basically just the same as the punch, but it stuns the person.
Yep,
So.
you got it. So yeah, if you want to do a stunning strike, go ahead and fire up a stunning strike.
Could
I
we
obviously
just count-
haven't played monks enough.
I think we could just count that punch as the opportunity.
Oh yeah, that is the punch that does the stunning strike. Just give me the set so I can see the DC for it.
The DC is 17.
And that is a con, correct?
Yes, con.
Oh, he's okay. He is not stunned. But we still have an Allosaurus bite. Coming, that hurts. And then a Joey on the nose with 15.
Oh, he's gonna take 26 extra damage.
Wow.
And get knocked
Oh,
That
dang.
troll goes down in a heap and shatters on the ground, unable to reform after all sorts of nonsense destroys him while he's still in the fire. From the tent-like domicile, you hear, keep it down out there.
I'll attempt to make an ice troll sound.
That's nice. So sounds like.
I don't know. I'm currently crunching on whatever, like, icicles or whatever it was made of.
Sure. How about a deception, perhaps?
Instant
As your
regret.
dinosaur charisma?
Instant regret. Well, we're here now, so.
See, you doubted yourself.
I think that's better than what Plaut would have done.
that was a respectable ice troll noise.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look and see if I keep my stats or not when I wild shape. I don't remember.
It's some of
So.
them.
Yeah. Charisma, I
will-
doubt.
Go ahead and drop out of initiative. We have a tented domicile ahead. What would you like to do?
I mean, quietly, like charge and smash or sneak and see.
Okay. Yeah, charisma is one of the ones that you hold on. Excuse me, that you keep from yourself. Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma stay the same, but everything else is the beast. that you're turning into.
But that seemed enough, so good to go.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Don't make me roll that again.
Nope, you're fine.
But that's what Joey will immediately, like, as soon as he hears that coming from... Was it in Draconic, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys want to smash or just, like, sneak it in? Because I know what Plaut's going to pick right now.
Tap toe.
I would suggest someone take a peek, just in case there's more in there than we're prepared for.
I don't know how to whoa plot, but I'm going to try to whoa plot.
Grab on the back of the eye ridges and pull back gently.
You were about to get bucked off the dinosaur.
Sentences I never thought I'd hear playing D&D.
Well, no one's moving, so, I mean, the dinosaur's like, I can sneak. Come on, somebody else
So
get up here,
good at
please.
Anybody want to take a peek? Or Joey's going to do it?
The two loudest people are up front, guys. Come on, somebody get up here.
Oh, I'm coming.
Literally verbatim from Waverly.
Everyone's holding back because they know every one of these tapestries is a tapestry of smothering.
That's not funny. Okay. Somebody go take a peek.
I thought it was.
The dinosaur's leaving without me. Somebody go take a peek.
The tapestries are just, I mean, they're very nice tapestries. Representations from cultures all over Faerun are on display.
Oh, thanks. Okay, I'm gonna go take a peek.
Sure. Joey, can I have a stealth check, please?
That's gonna go great.
Yep. I feel like Waverly's just over there
What
giggling.
the fuck?
Hey, get back here.
That-
Are you off now?
Yep.
You dropped me off.
He
I didn't
jumped
say
down,
you were getting there yet, but okay, you jumped down. Got it.
snuck over like a demon. So as you pull back one of the tapestries, the interior of the shelter is surprisingly warm, thanks to a small stove and simple lamps burning aromatic whale oil. Carpets are heaped on the floor in thick layers, and tapestries from every culture in Faerun hang suspended from the sturdy frame of whale ribs. Books and scrolls are stacked neatly on tables, and reading stands made of hide and whalebone. The only furnishings in the shelter not made from these natural materials are the carpets and the tapestries, and a portable writing desk that appears to have been taken from a sailing ship. Seated at the writing desk is a female tiefling wearing a blazing crimson cloak over tailored furs. The cloak is fastened with a silver and ivory brooch bearing a design reminiscent of a stylized branching tree, the symbol of the arcane brotherhood. Two kobolds stand attendant nearby, both brilliantly white. They glance nervously towards the disturbance outside and then back to the tiefling.
Did the tiefling look nervous at all, or just irritated?
Just vaguely irritated. A very similar look to Dawn's resting face.
So another warlock then.
I mean... a scholar of some sort.
Rawr.
I have no non-kobold language, otherwise I would try to whisper something right here. I got nothing.
Rawr.
Alright, well, we'll try with the blunt end. In Draconic, little ones, I'm not going to kill you. Don't throw stuff at me, I'm walking in.
And the tiefling just sort of glances up with just one eye for a moment. The other one's still looking down, holds up a finger and goes, "Tsk. Moment. All right. Now, have you come to save me or kill me? Not that there will be much difference between the two."
Are we really going to have this conversation through curtains?
You can come in if you want. Just stop letting the heat out.
And the dinosaur walks in.
Were you raised in a ball?
Does a little curtsy.
A curtsying dinosaur.
Ah,
I love it.
well, at least you're well traveled. You've been to Chult. Now, stop tracking the ice in, and again, shut the tapestry. We're not paying to heat the whole iceberg.
Are you paying at all?
If Joey starts to talk, I'll try and move my mouth like in time.
Oh my god.
You're so mean. I'm going to tell the others, like, hey, target's in here, let's go. She's crabby and is cold. Oh, Dawn, she looks a lot like you.
The
Minus
kobolds
the
are like,
fur.
the kobolds are
Excuse
like, want nothing of this. Like, as you start coming forward, they're like, we're just gonna drift back a bit.
You've never seen me without my fur.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a story that you'll eventually not share with me again. Or ever.
Really? You're standing on the books. Get back. Control your pet.
Accidental tail swipe. Just trying to block it
Don't be a
away.
dick.
You're mashing all over scrolls and books, knocking over tables, like years of study are just going like woof.
I mean, I'm a literal bull in a china shop. Like, what do you
Yeah,
want
I
from
know.
me? You give
Like-
me nowhere to go. There's nowhere
Get
to
out.
go.
Like
Gestures back outside.
she's just like, oh. That
Dawn is irritated by this. Just like,
That-
get out.
that treatise was over 4,000 years
I
old.
lift my foot and point it towards Dawn. There's like some important paper stuck in between my toes.
Oh.
Probably making the exact same face and sounds. Tries to rescue what he can rescue from her feet and just get.
Yes, well, that was lovely. That's 6 months of work down the drain. But, yes, who are you and why are you here?
I did right.
I mean, we're here. I don't know personally why the others are here. I'm here to, help a sister out. Brotherhood wants you back. Also, the Draakhorn thing.
Ah, yes, well, that's a bit of a story. So, everyone sit down, get comfortable. Can I get you some water?
I mean, we can make some, sure.
And we'll talk it through. And so as everyone settles down, that's where we'll draw it to a close for this evening as we're roaming on about 11 o'clock. And we will pick up in 2 weeks speaking with Macath the Crimson as she introduces herself and why she is here. And that's where we'll go. So congratulations. You have found Macath the Crimson, for better or for worse. You have fought your way through several kobolds, a ice troll, and some other dangers. Correctly identified trap, and got away relatively unscathed. We'll see how your luck holds up when we come back. Thanks all out there in Twitch land. Anyone have anything that they would like to close on or announce?
Rar. I'm
Rar.
staying here. I could drop, but I don't know.
No, you're fine. She's looking at you with the same expression that, certain people give pet bears.
I'm just watching between her and Dawn, like tennis match. Like, huh.
Dawn is trying to like shove him out. Like, just like, get out.
That's going really well, I'm sure.
He's not the strongest.
Surprisingly,
He's actually negative the strongest. So
surprisingly,
Negative
cat-like
strongest.
tail swipes are happening. Just the more you touch, the more dinosaur kicks papers around with tail.
So,
don't
Dawn,
make my bird start to try to peck out your eyes.
while Macath is taking this in stride, and you can kind of understand, given that she's probably working with kobolds as assistants, some of the books that you're seeing being kicked around right now are really, really, really important books. Like, these are worth money.
I'm not purposely trying to destroy stuff, but like, there's just no real room for me. And if I learned anything, it's
Yep.
don't unwild shape early when there's
Yes.
still danger.
It's surprising that this tent wasn't built for a dinosaur.
Hey,
I
that's
mean,
their fault.
obviously it's not up to code.
Seriously.
Okay. So we will close out on that one. Hey, Alex, nice of you to drop in. We're just on the wrap at the moment. And yes, dinosaur, not in the library, but in Macath's study. So that is
Even
where we will
smaller.
pick up 2 weeks from now. Next week, we'll be working with the other side of the Rise of Tiamat team, also having adventures in Bookland, having just discovered a missing library book, which they might be able to return to redeem the soul of a librarian ghost, perhaps putting her to rest so that she will no longer worry about her grand niece in El Terrell.
Or the fees that have accrued after all this time.
Those fees have been applied against, I think it was Meridia's library card.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, like 4 out of 5 of them managed to get their library cards. So more
Dawn is
didn't
just
have one.
seething. Or Athy, I'm not sure which.
Yes.
Yes.
Some from column A, some from column B. XP will be doing towards the end of the run through, because there's a lot of kind of cliffhanger-ish XP that I won't know whether you get or not until we finish the run through.
We gotta go back and kill that whole room with the boat.
It's things along those lines. It's not well and truly resolved, or you were just holding off on it till later. So we'll see how all that pans out. We'll probably be doing XP more on a questy by questy basis. Cool. So with that, Rukio. Rukio had the library card with the fees against it.
Thank you, Casey.
Yay!
Yay.
Thank you for playing. Hope you guys had fun. We're getting back into the swing of the character, and we'll have a little less directed time, a little more. Here's where we're headed now that we're into the dungeons and kind of out of the world travel-y stage. I think we've had good opportunities for everybody to pick up their gear and so on, so we should be able to keep it in adventure mode for the rest of the runs.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you all. Catch you later. What do we got going on? Tomorrow night, Yulia?
Tormana.
No. Tormana's tomorrow night. On the hard streets once again, pursuing the abyssal demons that have killed our boss and captured his soul. For shame, abyssal demons.
Yes.
And then
Saturday is not Dark Isle.
Saturday's a skip on the Dark Isle. Craig's off in Crazy Land.
And Sunday is going to be our new homebrew Ramshorn. We'll be having their official session 1, but they've really kind of had it last week, so that's at 9 Eastern.
I got to eavesdrop on some of that. It sounded cool. I didn't get fully caught up, but I'm looking forward to that.
And link to the website that has all the other things. But yeah, yay!
Yay! Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you all. We'll catch you, some of you tomorrow night, and some of you later on than that. Bye.